Hello boys and girls, how are we doing? Hello and welcome to the pre-stream stream. This is where the cool kids hang. Have we all had a delightful day? Are we all... Oh god. I've got boxes of wrestlers behind me that need dealing with. I just rammed my chair into them. My office is a disgrace. Have we all had a chance? That badge looks different to the one that I used on the YouTube thumbnail. Which one's wrong, I wonder? Have we all had a chance to watch the highlights video on YouTube? What did we think of that? Liam, thank you very much for the sub. Did we enjoy the highlights video that Jamie put together for me? Very good, wasn't it? We've got another one coming up in a few days. It's exciting times here, boys and girls. If you have come over from YouTube, welcome. Serious Chiz, thank you for the 3 months. Kenny Cage, thank you for the 15 months. Had a great day training my pigeon to aim its poo. Yeah, if you haven't seen on Twitter, I've got one of those little England shirt things that you're supposed to put in your car window. I'm not putting one in my car. Things haven't got that desperate. But I have got one in my office window, and it's just getting absolutely bombarded with bird poo every day. And it's just that one part of the window. I think I've got a Scottish bird around here that's just turding up my window at every opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if they came in and pooed all over the shirt that's behind me as well, which, looking at it now in the camera, having an England shirt hung up where I usually have my home shirt hung up, it's just a white piece of cloth. You can't see any of the detail that suggests it's an England shirt. And with the pinky purpley light on it as well, it just looks like a white vest that's been put in the wash with a red sock. So that, I mean, football, exactly. How are we doing anyway? Is everybody good? Not all Scottish people are bitter. I never said all Scottish people were bitter. However, this one Scottish bird is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Just pooing all over my England shirt at all times. I have had a lot of fun just reading through the hashtags on Twitter over the last 24 hours. There's the hashtag cheating one is quite fun. There were a few on the trending hashtags, certainly this morning when I was looking through. Well, let's have a look to see what we've got trending on the hashtags now. Maybe people have moved on. I'd be surprised if people have moved on in a day. But it looks like the really interesting ones have actually fallen out of trending, which is a real shame. Obviously, something has moved. The world has moved on. Hydrate. Cool, blimey. Oh, blimey. Hydrating already. There we go. Hydrating. So, for those of you who weren't here in the stream on Monday or Tuesday, I don't remember when it was. Monday. For those of you who weren't in the stream on Monday, we have started a new save. Just to give you a quick rundown of how we've done it. All we did, nice and simple, we loaded up a vanilla Football Manager database. I'll show you around it now. So we started a new save. Here it is. We loaded up a Football Manager save with no mods or anything like that on there. It's just an absolutely standard one with quite a lot of leagues loaded, but always with the intention of managing in England. And we then holidayed forward a year, had a look to see who the newly promoted teams were, and then chose one of them to manage. So if we have a look on who the newly promoted teams were, just in case you weren't here the other night, these were the teams we had the choice of. So the newly promoted teams were Merthyr, Hensford, Rushall, Poole, Gosport, Chesham, Grantham, Bamber Bridge and Farnborough, and we went for Grantham because they used to be near my house. We spent the last stream basically rebuilding the entire football club from the ground up. You can see we brought in a lot of staff. We now have a pretty decent staff set up for our level. Considering we're expected to be relegated, we've got better coaching staff than you would expect for a team that's going to be getting relegated. And we also brought in a lot of players. We also released a lot of players. So we released the vast majority of the squad that were here when I arrived, kept the 2 or 3 that were any good, and have supplemented them with a whole bunch of free transfers, and then a few loans to plug the gaps. As you would expect from me in a Football Manager save, we've gone well over the wage budget in the process. I'm not quite sure how we ended up over £1,000 over the wage budget. It feels like that's on you lot. You weren't fully paying attention when I was going through, so I don't see how that could be my fault. That feels like that's the fault of the people who are watching. Probably should have said, hey Kev, whoa, slow down Kev, you've gone way over the wage budget there, but nobody did, and so we have. I think part of it is because we did all our transfers and then we're able to offer a new contract to last season's star man Jack Stobbs on £475 a week. It's a lot of money, but he is the best player at the club. He had a cracking season last year. He's not really got up and running yet this year, but he's a good boy. He's still our key man, even with all these transfers that have come in. Club vision wise, we're expected to, or we've been asked to battle bravely against relegation. The media think that's a realistic expectation as well. Media are predicting a 19th place finish for us, and our start to the season, we played our first 6 games and it's been tough. We've picked up a couple of wins, and then there's been many games where we've not looked very good. We've tried a few different tactical systems over those first 6 games. I think we've settled on and committed to using a 4-4-2 counter-attack for the next few games at least, because it's become very clear in these games that we're not very good. And we probably are really in a relegation battle, so we should probably just try to avoid getting relegated. If we can stay ahead of the Kev ratio for the season, we will be happy, and we are dead on the Kev ratio at the moment. 6 games played, 6 points on the board. Huzzah! That's all we're looking for. So we're going to be playing Merthyr, who are another one of the newly promoted teams. So Bamber Bridge were a newly promoted team. We've beaten them. Merthyr are another of the newly promoted sides. So we've got to be hoping for another victory against Merthyr, although that one is away from home. So we shall see. Who won the Euros on this save? What a question. What is it called? European Football Championship, France. So France, Czech Republic in the final. Shall we have a look to see what happened in the Euros in this save? So Italy and Bosnia are out of Group A. France, Denmark and Czech Republic out of B. Holland, Ukraine and Austria are out of C. England, Sweden and Poland out of D. Turkey still absolutely bottling it in this universe. Portugal, Spain and Finland coming out of Group E, and then Belgium and Germany coming out of Group F. We then had Italy knocking out Ukraine, Bosnia knocking out Denmark, France knocking out Poland, Holland knocking out Finland, Sweden beating Spain, Belgium beating Austria on penalties, Czech Republic beating Portugal, and Germany beat England in extra time in this world in Dublin. So very sad. That's not how reality was supposed to work. So we're now following Germany. They're representing England. So this is... Yeah, okay. So Sweden then beat Belgium, France beat Italy, Holland beat Bosnia, Czech Republic knocking out Germany on penalties, and then in the semi-final, France beat Sweden in extra time, Czech Republic beat Holland, and then the final was a 1-0 win. France over the Czech Republic, played, of course, at Wembley with a goal. A 90th minute winner from Kurt Zouma. What more could you... It's the French dream. The French dream. Kurt Zouma, national hero. No Mbappe in their side, which is interesting. Oh no, he's there. So Mbappe on the bench in the final, playing Anthony Martial instead, and they still went. That was the key. That's why they didn't win the Euros in real life. They played Mbappe ahead of Martial like idiots. How? I mean, what were they thinking? What on earth were they thinking? I can see a few people in the chat asking what happened to the Smorgon save. If you do exclamation mark Smorgon, it's explained, but very simply, I wasn't really enjoying it. I much prefer managing in England, or at least in countries where I can remember the names of the players. It wasn't even that I couldn't say the names of the players in the Belarus save. It was more that I couldn't remember them because they were all so similar. So I needed a place where I could build stories and get to know the players, which is why we've ended up back in the English lower leagues. My natural habitat, the English lower leagues. As some people in the YouTube comments would have you believe, it's all I ever do. I have tried to explain I'm managing in America at the moment in my other series, but apparently all I do is lower league England. You can't please everyone. Oh dear. Who's that who just subbed? Liam, thank you for the sub. Have you done any naming the game players? We haven't done any naming the game players for this one yet, because as usual, naming the game will only be for new gens. And I don't know if we've got any new gens at all. I think everyone has pretty much got a real face at the moment. So if they're a blacked out face like that, that means they're a real player who hasn't been allocated, who doesn't have a face in the face pack that I've got. So you'd need someone with one of the generated new gen faces. And I don't think we've got any new gens at the moment. So yeah, it'll be a season or two before we've got any new gens and we can start doing name of the game. As soon as we start signing new gens, yell at me and remind me. My director of football has gone mad and is trying to sign a 5-star midfielder. I mean, we've got no money. I'm not going to tell him. I'll just leave him to it. I'm not going to get involved, but I don't see how we can afford that transfer. But if he thinks we can afford that transfer, who am I to argue? That way, as far as I'm concerned, if he messes up the wage budget, he's the one who should get sacked for it, not me. I'm just the manager. I just pick the team. He's doing the transfers. That's exactly what's happening. Who's better, Kev or Southgate? Me, obviously. Southgate is very good. He's not quite Kev level. Although I was gushing with pride when he took Jack Grealish off last night. Like, oh, that's... All those years I screamed at Sven-Goran Eriksson to take off David Beckham or insert name of overpaid player who never got substituted here. He took off the national darling after less than 40 minutes of football. That's a man who isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. Huge respect to him for that. Right, we have now got an actual left winger, but somehow he's still a right footer. How did we not? The whole point of signing Jones was, I mean, it was so that we could move Stubbs over to the right, where he'll hopefully be more effective. He hasn't played on the right yet, I don't think. He's played one game on the right, and what do you know? He got an assist and we won the game. But I thought Jones was going to be a proper winger, not another inverted one. We need a natural left winger, and we just don't have one yet, which is probably going to be troublesome. Even Kev enjoyed the highlights videos, wasn't able to see it live. Excellent. Well, hopefully, like I said in the intro to it, if the highlights videos are well supported, we'll keep doing them. What is going on with this screen? Horrendous. What? Why has it got me in? What's happened? Why can't I have my 6 boxes? Swifty Vixen, thank you very much for the sub. What's gone on here? Why have I only got 2? I should at least have 4, surely. Is that right now? I think I've messed everything up and I don't know how. What on earth is going on? We've somehow gone into windowed mode rather than full screen mode. I don't know how to take it out of that. Oh, there you go, full screen mode. If we go back into full screen mode, I've got to get back to having my 6. I'm so used to having my 6 things on there. But even now, oh, hold on. Oh, thank goodness. I couldn't have coped. No way could I have coped with only having 2 touchline tablet things. I don't think I could play FM on a laptop anymore. Right, where do we get to in the chat? That was awful. What team do I support? The mighty Peterborough United. Bum, 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 bum. What is going on here? Someone's got a damaged foot. Idiots. And Arsenal. Yeah, I'm not speaking of that publicly yet. Unofficially Arsenal for the coming season. I've gone so far as to buy a shirt. Still don't know if I can bring myself to have that as an answer to that question, though. The answer to that question is always going to be posh. And I am interested in Arsenal's results for the coming season in an attempt to get into the Premier League more. That's a safer way to say it. Grantham is where I live. Aha, have we got any more Granthamians in. Have we just scored? Have we just done a football? It's Stubbs with the assist again. Clearly, the route to goal for us is through Stubbsy, as we knew it would be. Big, deep free kick. And there's Fisher to tuck it home. 1-0, and that could be massive for us because we need points on the board after a very difficult start. Are Ipswich going to get promoted? I doubt it. They don't usually, do they? Have they done any? I mean, I confess I haven't paid any attention to what Ipswich may or may not have spent the summer doing so far. Have they changed anything? Have they done anything that would lead you to believe they might get promoted this coming season? If not, probably not. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's where madness lies, boys and girls. I've just seen a tweet about the Scottish bird. He is a monster. Won the gingerbreads. Agreed. Ipswich released a lot of their old men and they've all gone to Colchester. Is that good or bad for Colchester? Have we just scored a worldie? And I was reading the chat. Who scored that? Was that Jones? Jones seems to be celebrating. Is this the left winger cutting on his right foot that I moaned about? Oh no, it's Conway, the guy I've just brought on. Well, we're going up as bleeping champions. Is Jenkins a left back? I don't fully know all of... No, I didn't think Jenkins was a left back. We don't have a left back on the bench. So I'm not taking Hope off. I'll take Patter off and bring Drew on. From Reading, lived in Grantham for the last 5 years. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Ed Sheeran's a sponsor. I saw that Ed Sheeran was sponsoring Ipswich. Is that enough on its own to lead Ipswich back to the Championship? I want to know how much he's paid. How much could I sponsor Posh for? Probably more than I'd be able to invest. Come for the football, stay for the Einstein quotes. Yeah. How's Joe Ward doing at Posh? Haven't kept up with him since he left Woking. He was one of the top assist makers in League One last year. He's been doing really well. Playing kind of... So, we often use him as a right wing back. Sometimes we play on the right side of midfield, but more often than not, he's our right wing back, and it's been working well. Lots of assists. That boy can cross a football. Did anyone have any issue installing Red Dead Redemption 2? No, I didn't. Installed fine for me. Colchester at the retirement home. Bless them. Poor old Colchester. Although, to be fair, they gave us... Well, they not directly, but they... that's Sammy Schmodix. That's where he came from, isn't it? And Frankie Kent, are they both Colchester? Or am I confusing Colchester and Gillingham again? Because in my mind, they're both basically the same. I feel like they must be fairly close to each other. There you go, it was Colchester. Ricky J. Jones is going to be a baller. I hope so. The struggle to get any game time this coming season at the moment. He's going to have to be good to get any time on the pitch. He didn't play a lot for us last year. But with Jack Marriott coming back and Big Johnson still knocking around the place, he's going to have to be good every opportunity he gets to get many opportunities. So you do the save with only the scout reports for players. It's all I ever use. I only ever scout players based on scout reports. I never touch the player search screen. Don't like it. Makes the game... Ultimately, Football Manager's quite an easy game, isn't it? I think if you spend too much time on the player search screen, especially if you use the player search screen and you have attribute masking off, and you can just literally search any player in the world whenever you want. Like, oh, I really feel like I need a left back with 17 anticipation who's available on a free transfer and speaks Portuguese. The fact that you can just go out and get one is absurd. It makes the game too easy. So I don't touch the player search screen, and I sign all my players based on scout reports and trials and stuff. I try and play as close to how real life football works as possible. Colchester gave us Kane Vincent Young. He's a very good player. Who is us, Fipsy? I'm not familiar with Kane Vincent Young. We just did another football. It's all coming together now. We just needed the counter-attacking system. I think this is very close to the 4-4-2 we used with St Albans a few years back. I think. Is it St Albans we used a flat 4-4-2? And everyone thought I'd lost my mind? Can't help but cheat, but that makes you a legend. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to cheat a lot. When I was a kid, I would be forever in the editor. I would always add myself to the database. Once a year, at least, I would go through and give every posh youth player 200 potential ability and put myself in there as well. And have a whale of a time playing the next 10 years, winning the Champions League as part of a front three that contained me in the middle, Simon Davies one side of me, Matthew Everington the other side. It was glorious. But these days, I play Football Manager for my job. I have to play it every day. If all I ever did was win, it would be so boring. So the fact that it's hard and has its ups and downs and it's unpredictable, it's what keeps it engaging for me to go back to every day. So yeah, cheating's just not an option for me now. It would break me, I think, just sitting at my desk and commentating on winning football matches every day. It's one of the reasons I started a bottom tier save again, just as the other two saves are starting to go well. Because I need to keep my non-league skills sharp for when Non-League Legends starts in FM22. Where will Reading finish the season in the Championship? Below Posh. Maybe. Yeah, but I'm older than you. Well. You don't do it for a living, though. You've got an excuse. I can tell you exactly how many hours I'm on. I'm on... Oh, I can't because I'm pressing the wrong button. Hold on. I am on 1,854 hours on Football Manager 21, and it's only July. So by the time FM22 comes out, I imagine I'll be pretty close to 2,500 hours on FM21. That's why I can't just win all the time. It will break me. I remember adding myself to the game back in the day. It was awkward when my player self wouldn't sign for my manager self. That's why I'd always put him in my own youth team. Thoughts on Leyton Orient? They knocked us out of the playoffs a few years ago and it made me sad. When's the next Streamer Showdown? Ask Ben. I'm not here to make announcements. Who says I even know? Who says I'll even be in it? I don't want to get myself in trouble. So, yeah, Dr. Benji is the man to ask Streamer Showdown related questions. I know nothing. I just turn up and win them. Like they tell me anything. They haven't even updated me to be the current champion on the Twitter. Like they tell me anything. They sometimes don't even tell me it's happening. Right, we're going to just stick him in there like that because we haven't got a ball-winning midfielder at the moment. My game time is currently 38 days, 22 hours and 32 minutes. What, in one save? I haven't looked at that. That's interesting, though. How many hours is that? How many times have I won the showdown now? 6. Kevy 6 times. How many times has the next most winningest person won it? Only 2. Because I'm great. Oh, dear. My brother used to create me when he played FM. Bit awkward. My player refused to start contract negotiations. That seems fair. I wouldn't sign for my brother's team. It seems entirely fair. Why would you want to go and play? Who would want their brother as their boss? That'd be the worst thing ever. Come on, Leamington. It's the team close to me on it. I mean, to be fair, I live a lot closer to Leamington now than I do to Grantham. So this is much closer to being a local team for me than Grantham are. I imagine Leamington... Are Leamington in the Conference North or South? Because I know we've looked into it and ended up saying Brackley were the closest team for Non-League Legend. But it could be Leamington. Are Leamington In a playable league? I don't actually know what league they're in. Leamington must be pretty close by. I might have to do some... Hold on. I'm just going to do some quick map checking. I'm going to do it on my phone so I don't dox myself. So Leamington FC. I don't want people triangulating this. I'm going to talk in terms of travel time rather than miles. So Leamington's 53 minutes away from me. I didn't realise it would be that far, actually. And Brackley is 59 minutes away. So actually, in terms of minutes, Leamington is closer. So if Leamington are playable, we might actually be doing Leamington. I don't know why I ignored it. Right, we need to check. Are Leamington in the league? What league are Leamington FC in? National League North. So why did we ignore them? I haven't officially announced non-league to legend yet, so we can backtrack. But we might be doing Leamington. I need to look at the maps properly. Interesting. Very interesting. You forgot about them. I might have forgot about them. Or I might have been triangulating differently. I might have, because I think we did it on stream, so I might have been doing distance from, like, the centre of Leicester or something. But that would put them closer to Leamington than me, I think, because I'm south of Leicester. Watch this space. We might be doing Leamington. Leamington have a good presence on social media as well, so it'd be a good match. Interesting. Very. In fact, Leamington did. Leamington commented on my TikTok the other day. I put a TikTok up of me when I managed Nuneaton and did the whole team talk thing. And I put that on TikTok, and Leamington actually went onto it and commented, Leamington FC. So yes, they have already been in touch to mock me. I think it was just the green vomity emoji was all they posted. Who's my favourite Northampton player? I don't think I could name a Northampton player. I mean, if they got any that are any good, they got relegated, didn't they? That suggests none of them are any good. Why is Quick Pick not putting Stobbsy in? Stobbsy's injured. Stobbsy! This is twice now this season you've been injured. You're made of glass, young man. How can you be injured twice in 1 August? Are they the same knee? Have we got a dodgy knee on this boy? How'd you get to that screen? How'd you get to this screen? So it's in medical report. Okay. So he's got a yellow knee, but no recurring injuries. Okay, it was the opposite knee. That's cool. You can go back and see where previous injuries were. Oh, wow. I like how the game is pretending that it knows which ankle ligaments he sprained in July 2014, as if that's in the database. Yeah, he did his right ankle both times. Yeah, right. As if that's in the database. Can you imagine? This database is scary. Who is Jack Stobbs? But so he would have been a Sheffield Wednesday reserve back then, and people know which ankle he hurt. Well, anyway, Patter can move forward. Drew can come in. That's fine. We'll work with that. Have I ever had any real life players comment on their FM profile or how you play them? A few, yeah. Reece Bennett turns up quite regularly. He streams FM from time to time. And the first time we spoke, it was not long after I'd managed Posh in the EFL Cup thing that they put on at the start of the pandemic, where every club had a football manager, and it was a big competition thing, and I'd played him at wing back and he wasn't happy about it. He was my star, well, one of my star men, but I played him at wing back and he wanted to be centre back. But he's too quick to be a centre back. Wanted to get the best out of him at wing back. My word, what a goal that is from Dylan Jones. Holy smokes. Can we just have a little look at this again? I was moaning about him before. All we needed was to reset the RNG in the game. We were in terrible form the other night, and now look, we're up in 7th place. Favourite posh player? What, currently or all time? Currently, probably Sammy Schmoddix. All time, George Boyd. Greatest player ever to grace a football pitch. See why he wanted 850 a week initially and knew his August was going to be interrupted. Yeah. Heavy 6 times versus 5-time WCW World Champion Booker T. Need to see it happen. Doing what? I'll play FM against Booker T. If someone can get me in touch with Booker T, I'll play Football Manager against him. When's the next vlog? When I have something to vlog. Vlogs will be a little less frequent for the next week or so. We're in the last week of term and we're all a bit, Andy's school, I think he's got one more full week next week. So we're not in the last week at all. He's got one more full week at school next week. And then the following week, I think he's there Monday and Tuesday. And then it's the summer holidays. And the vlogs will become much more frequent when we hit the summer holidays because FM content will scale back a little bit. And we'll really focus in on the vlog for the 6 weeks of the summer holidays. Because it's a good way to make sure we go and do family stuff as well whilst still working. So my job at the moment is I'm trying to pile up as many Football Manager videos as I can before we get to the summer, because the more stuff I have stocked up, the later on I have to drop down to 1 video a day. That's my thinking. So if I can get like 2 weeks of videos recorded in advance, which I'm not going to do, but I can maybe do a week. But if I got 2 weeks of videos recorded in advance, the whole of January could look like a normal month. And then not January, the whole of July could look like a normal month. And then just August will be 1 video a day. Whereas if I don't get loads of stuff stacked up, pretty much the moment school breaks up, I'll drop down to 1 video a day and just rotate the 2 series. Met Barry Fry at the Posh Ground when you played Macclesfield. I guess that's Macclesfield, Mactown. That's what I would refer. If someone said Mactown to me, I think you were talking about McDonald's or some kind of coat shop. But when you played, don't laugh at your own jokes, Kev. He is certainly a character. That's it's a very generous way to describe Barry Fry. I'm not a fan. George Boyd was great at Hull too. His experience is invaluable. He's a wonderful man. When am I going to be Omega Luke's manager in wrestling? When he stops wrestling in the back end of nowhere. If he ever decides to wrestle in Civilization, like London and north of London, then I'll get involved. I'm not going all the way down to like whatever island he lives on, the island of Cornwall or whatever it is. I don't think they'd let me in, and I certainly don't think I'd make it back out again. I am not one for Cornwall or Devon or these places that are too far away from civilization. It's too far for me to travel more than anything. Right, Jones is injured. We don't have any other wide players available, so who can play out wide on that left-hand side? Have we got anyone who's a left footer? Is he a left footer? Conway scored that nice goal in the last games. We might just leave him hanging around out there. Although he can sort of play it. There you go. Makeshift left winger. That'll do. Get out there, Mr. Makeshift. Swap those two around like that. That will do nicely. And then this guy's not really been scoring for us. But he is quick. Quite quick. Perhaps put him on and do that. And see what happens. Cornwall is nice. I'm sure Cornwall's lovely. It's just too far away. I ain't going all the way down there. He needs to wrestle. Like I said to him, he needs to come to Milton Keynes and wrestle. That's the heart of the UK wrestling scene. Can you remember that fly on the wall show Sky did in the 2000s with Ron Atkinson at Posh? I, believe it or not, can remember that. It wasn't our finest hour. Well, it did lead to our current owner buying us because he watched that, took pity on us, bought us, and everything changed. So everything worked out nicely in the end. I don't think anyone came out of that show looking good. I remember it pretty much finished Sean St. Ledger and Danny Crow as Posh players. What should I do when I'm in the Football League and no one will leave and I'm in financial difficulties? Take your medicine. You're just gonna have to, you just gotta wait it out. Contracts will expire eventually. Sounds like you got yourself into a pickle by overextending. Could you show how to sign someone on a pre-contract? I'm fairly new, don't know how to do it. I can't at the moment because there won't be anyone available on a pre-contract, but it's as simple as once you get to January, you find the player you want to sign, right click on him and go approach to sign. And like, I'm not going to sign this guy, but if you go on approach to sign, then have contract start date, and that'll tell you when their contract will start. So if it's a pre-contract, the contract start date will probably be that summer, and then you just go through it as a normal contract negotiation. But you just have to keep an eye on when their contracts are up. So if you want to know who's available for a pre-contract, you'd want to use, like if you're in January, players who are expiring in 6 months. So he's gone to play in Denmark, was that? His contract is expiring in 6 months. So there you go. We could offer him a pre-contract. He won't sign it because we've just released him. But we could offer him a contract and he would then come in on the 1st of January when that contract expires. He's moved back to Denmark for £10 a week. I mean, the entirety of his contract isn't going to cover the petrol cost of driving from Grantham to Denmark. What's he done that for £10 a week? He's lived in England for 16 years. And now he's gone back to Denmark for £10 a week. Football Manager is the most realistic game in the world. That's £4 a week after tax. Oh, dear me. Poor guy. I feel like we should bring him back now. He's looking at Stubbsy, sitting here earning £475 a week part-time. Training twice a week in the evenings and playing on a Saturday. And he's earning, what? That's close to 20 grand a year, isn't it? More than 20 grand a year. It's like 22, 23 grand a year. Part-time, just for training in the evenings and playing on Saturdays. He can have a real job alongside that. That other guy must be furious. Maybe he's moved in with his mum and dad. He's 42 years old. Imagine turning up back at home with your mum and dad after 16 years away. Yeah, it didn't work out, mum. I'm back home on £10 a week. Can I have some pocket money? Can I have some tea, please, mum? Right, we're using this guy outside. What have we agreed to play him as? I mean, why did I agree to play him as a Carrilero? We're in the Conference North. I mean, spoilers. Neil. Is that Neil Ardley? It is Neil Ardley. Spoilers, Neil. We ain't going to be using a Carrilero in the Conference North. And I tell you what as well, Neil Ardley, manager of Notts County, you ain't going to be playing Carrileros either, so you don't need to worry about it. My word. Is he on my enemies list? Neil Ardley, not yet on my enemies list. We'll see. We'll work on that. We'll get that done. Right, get these boys doing a bit of running about. My mum would tell me to go away. I mean, he's earning as much from football now as... In fact, he's earning less than my now 15-year-old daughter, previously 14-year-old daughter. That's how birthdays work. He's now earning less than she earns to deliver leaflets one evening. He's earning that as a professional footballer. Right. Should we make him a Carolero? Is that the guy? That's not even the guy. Who's the guy? Conway. I mean, he's got all the attributes for it. That 4 positioning is ideal for being a Carolero. What were they thinking, asking me to play him as a Carolero? Yeah, he'll slot in nicely to my 4-4-2. Ridiculous. How do you get the player roles on the overview screen for players? By the way, brilliant YouTube video using highlights from the stream. I hope you can use it. Oh, thank you very much. Like I said in the video, it really depends on how well the video does. Because, bottom line, Jamie, who edited it, who might be watching. Hi, Jamie. I don't expect... He's done that one for free. And I don't expect him... I don't know how much work it was, but I imagine it's at least like 3 or 4 hours work just watching back the stream and then picking out the bits you want to use. So I don't expect him to do that for free for very long at all, really. So I need to know that the highlights videos are going to generate enough views so that I can offer him, so that I can basically pay him with the money that they're making and not be out of pocket by doing them, if that makes sense. So like if those videos, I don't even know what I'd like to do, and I haven't talked to him about this, so if he is watching, this is our negotiation. Just have a look to see how much they make each month and split the money. But to do that, it needs to be a decent amount. I don't want to say, yeah, we'll split the money on the money from the from those videos. I'll send you £17 for all that work. Doesn't really work, does it? I want to be able to send him a decent amount of money. So we'll see. If they're not supported, we won't do them, which I think is fair. If they're getting like 2,000 views a pop, then we won't bother with them. £10 a week would have been good for leaflets. When I used to do it, I was a penny each. Yeah, she gets loads more. I used to deliver the weekly. I used to do 2 paper rounds when I was a kid. I did one that was every day or 6 days a week in the evenings. And then I did one on Thursdays, which was like the local free paper. And that one I used to have to put leaflets in. One week I even had to deliver Weetabix. I got paid extra for the Weetabix. Little 3-pack boxes of Weetabix that everyone got pushed through their doors. The amount of dogs who savaged those boxes of Weetabix that week. In the end, I got about halfway around. I think I'm safe saying this now. This is a safe place. I got about halfway around my paper round and stopped delivering the Weetabix because dogs were just destroying them, and I just brought it all home, and we had Weetabix for breakfast every day for like a month. That's probably where my love of Weetabix and marmalade came from. That month where we had all the Weetabix, so I was supposed to be delivering it. That's the great fraud of my life. Getting paid for delivering that and just basically having free breakfast for ages. We're now losing again. I thought it was too much to hope for that we'd hit good form. We just played against some poor teams. We just got to hope there's at least 4 teams not as good as we are in this league. Although, Worsfold, look at this pace and power. He's through here. Why has he not just hit that? What's he even tried to do? He's just chipped that up into the goalkeeper's hands. He needs to not be allowed to watch Match of the Day. He's had too much TV privilege. And now thinks that's an acceptable way to try and score a goal at this level. Having a good game. Having a laugh, more like. Just hit it. 9 finishing. Where's your composure? Sheesh. Hideous. Right, let's get my Carolero on. Here you go. Let's make his manager happy. A Carolero! We're using a Carolero! We're going to bring Drew on as well. Right, I'm demanding more. This is why I don't like doing cautious systems, by the way, because I acknowledge we probably should be attacking now because we're trying to score a goal. But it then kind of breaks the entire system that we're using. We have to push everybody forward a bit. It probably doesn't work very well then. Come on then. Let's have an equaliser here. That's got to be a penalty, surely. It is a penalty. Glorious. Weetabix heist. Absolutely. To me, it's no different to the lads who would throw their newspapers in the local skips. It's just the same. I just ate mine rather than throwing them in a skip. Oh, I thought we were going to score another one there. Going back to Jan Butts. But how do you even say his name? Is it Jan Butts? Because that's great if it is. If I remember right, I think he and Doncaster made a bit of a thing in one of the cups in the mid 2000s. I think it was versus Arsenal. And he was touted as being a potential championship keeper. Might have been earning £15 now instead. Really? How do you get player roles on the overview screen? When you say overview screen, you talk about this one, or this one? Is that what you mean? These player roles here? It's these buttons. No, it's these ones here. So you can pick whether you want. I think that one's fitness or tactical familiarity. It'll tell me on there. Tactical familiarity. This one is their average rating and their morale. And that one is their player role. Frankly, I don't really know why anyone would choose either of those, because it just adds another step of... I mean, how do you even change that? You have to click on them and change it individually if you don't have that selected. That would be a nightmare. The only option is that one, surely. On their main profile below their picture. But this... I think that's just a screen resolution thing. Why is it put biography there? On a lot of these, you can change what's shown. If it's got a drop-down box, you can change what's there and move stuff around. But this one isn't changeable. So I assume that just appears if there's enough resolution for it. Oh, this one. Yeah, I think that's a screen resolution thing. It just appears. In fact, we can probably experiment with that by making the screen resolution smaller. I'm not going to do that because I've already messed with the screen resolution today. Right, who else are we not playing in their right position? Muldoon. Oh, I said he would be a regular starter and he's not playing at all. We can have him back then. Take him back. Dean, thank you very much for the sub. Lovely old stuff. Oh, we're playing against Holmes' old rivals Chester. We've got to pick up a result against this lot. We can't drop points against Chester. That goes against everything I stand for. Who's messing with Beagles is his Wi-Fi? Unacceptable. Right, it's another one. I haven't done these loans very well, have I? So I said this guy would play as a left winger, but we're playing him as a left midfielder. Oh, come on now. That's just... They're not different positions. They're the same. How would this conversation even happen in real life? You said you were going to play him on the left side of a 4-2-4. You're actually playing him on the left-hand side of a 4-4-2. Do you have any excuse for that? They're the same position. He needs to be playing there in order to develop properly. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I mean, it's clear what you want me to do about it, but still. I mean, we have got this that we've been practicing. Jones is suspended for the next game anyway, so we don't need to mess around with it. We could switch to this, because then we get Stobbs further forward as well, and maybe get more out of him, because he's not quite the player he was last year at the moment. This is one of those things that I always moan about with Football Manager. What I want to be able to see is what formation they were playing last year. That's something that needs adding into the game. Whenever people say, what would you like to see in FM22? I never know. Right now, this is what I know. I would like to be able to say to Brad Abbott, who was here last year, was the captain last year. I'd like to be able to say to Brad Abbott, Brad, what formation did you play last year? What tactical instructions was everybody given? I'd like to say to Jack Stubbs, you were when you were here last year, getting 13 assists and 7 goals and a 7.42. What were you being asked to do? It seems mad that I can't have that conversation. All this player interaction that we've got now. I should be able to say to my player, when you were playing to your best, what was different about that compared to what you're being asked to do now? You can't have those conversations. It seems silly. It seems like they should be the first conversations that are added in. I should be able to do that way before I can praise their conduct. Apart from when I'm trying to cheese morale, I've never felt the need to just praise conduct from a role play point of view. From an actual, this is what I do in real life. I can't imagine a situation where I'm praising their conduct, but I would be having the conversations about, Jack, you're not playing very well at the moment. What do we need to do to get the best out of you? And it seems mad that we can't have those conversations. Like, he doesn't want to be a ball-winning midfielder. He should be screaming that at me. We're going to switch him up to be a playmaker. I hope it doesn't break everything. If it all goes wrong today now, it's because we're using a playmaker rather than a ball-winning midfielder. You're not going back on the fixtures to see the formation last season. Usually that kind of data isn't kept. That's one of the things that's purged between seasons. I do want picture-in-picture as well. Yeah, I can throw a bottle at him for playing poorly, but I can't ask him what position he was playing in when he was playing well. All this statistical and analytical stuff that's in the game, you'd think I'd be able to look at his entire career and compare what positions and what roles he's played best as. It should be able to tell me, yeah, he got 13 assists last year, 11 of those 13, but when he was playing as an inside forward on the left-hand side, he only did it for 9 games, but he was incredible. But we don't know that. All we know is this guy playing somewhere in this team did quite well for some of last season. It feels like we've got a huge chunk of information missing there. Just checking that information isn't in the game. I think this is all just this season, even if there's anything in there. There you go. We can only go back that many matches. So we can only cover the matches that we've been involved in. That was our first friendly. So we can look at him in every match that he's played for us. We can't look at what he was doing before we were here. And I imagine the truth of why you can't do that is Football Manager probably isn't processing that much data. It probably doesn't know. It probably hasn't allocated him a position and a role. I imagine what's actually happened is he's not been randomly allocated those numbers, but I don't think you're doing full match by match. Well, I know you're not, because these are non-playable leagues. You're not doing full match by match simulation at that level. It's just decided, yeah, he's quite good. Let's give him these numbers that look quite good. So in actual fact, what I'm asking for, we've gone full circle. What I'm asking for is impossible to do. But still, I want it. Right, we'd be happy with a draw here against this lot. Should also be able to tell them they aren't good enough if you try to sell players. It always irritates me there isn't an option to offer people out. Yeah, it does seem odd. Right. Malone now needs to come off. Jenkins, we played in midfield before, but we'll play him as a ball winner. A few players playing out of position here, which is their cue to score, of course. Could you imagine how slow non-league legend home would get if all that data was kept? Yeah, exactly. I get why it's not in there, but I don't know. Trying to think from a computing point of view, there must be a way to dump all that data outside of the main file, like archive it somewhere, and then if you want to dig down that deep on a particular player, you can go and trawl through the archives and pull the data out. But I think it's, rather than storage, there must be ways to archive it, but rather than I think it's probably more likely that that data never existed in the first place. See, these are the only games they played last year, but they got promoted. We can actually go back and look at them. So we know there he played on the left-hand side of midfield in a 4-4-2 in a game that they lost. That's all we know. This game when they won 6-0, we can't look at. That 3-0 we can't look at, so we can only look at that one. That one we can't look at. So the only match they actually played is that one, and he played on the left-hand side of a 4-4-2, and they lost. Have you heard that Barcelona have salary cap issues? I have. Oh, couldn't happen to a nicer club. I mean, it's their own fault. They're stupid. They've been cheating for years, and now they've been told to stop cheating. I wish the rules that were in place in Spain were in place in England, because it would be really interesting to see the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea go. I mean, I know they haven't been paying anybody £1 million a week or anything ridiculous like that. So they've not gone anywhere near the level of excess that Barcelona have. Didn't I see somewhere that Griezmann's earning like 750,000 a week or something ridiculous? It's not just that Messi was on crazy money. They're paying Griezmann like £40 million a year. Messi can't sign a contract, so he's free. Yeah, but no one's going to be able to afford his salary. So he's got a choice of going somewhere else on 10% of what he was earning before and risk being found out and spoiling his legacy, or stay at Barcelona on 10% of what he was earning before and retire a legend, the man who stayed. To me, he's made enough money already. If I'm Messi, which I'm often compared to him, I think if I'm Messi in this scenario, I just stay at Barcelona on 100 grand a week once they've binned off a load of other players. Right, Stalybridge, how good are they? I'm toying with the idea of trying the 4-2-4 wing play, because we've not won any of our last 3 games. The only problem is it's the FA Cup and we could use a cup run for the money. But if this works, it gets him in the position we've agreed to play him in. It gets the best out of Stobbs potentially. So I think we are going to try it. And if it's a disaster, we'll just pretend it never happened and we'll go back to the 4-4-2 in the league. Jamal, thank you for the sub. I'm probably saying your name wrong, and I am a monster, and I apologise. Messi could take money a percentage of merch.
Do you think there's a chance Messi just retires and enjoys his millions?
Owen, thank you for the 13 months. I doubt he's going to retire just now. I mean, it depends how important the money is for him. I mean, if he decides, well, I'm not going to play for anyone for less than £800,000 a week, well, I don't think anyone's going to give him £800,000 a week. So if he wants, what's he on, 1.2 million a week or something, or that's what he was on? If he wants to earn anywhere near that, he's never going to get that anywhere again, I don't think. So if the money's the driving factor, he probably will just pack it in. But if he wants to go on longer than Ronaldo and outscore him and out awesome him, he's got to keep going, hasn't he? It depends what's more important. The league will probably bend over backwards to help Barcelona and make a rule that will help them. Well, didn't they do that last year? weren't they given a year's extension to sort it out? Because they had this problem last summer. And they were given a year to fix the problem and went and signed Aguero and multiple others on loads of money. Well, apparently I read that Aguero's agreed to play for less than he was getting at Man City. He just wanted to play for Barcelona before he retired. And wanted to play with Messi. And how Messi's not there. So I guess it depends how much Messi wants to play with his buddy at club level. The problem will fix itself. They're already talking with the La Liga to soften the rules because of COVID. They did that last year. There's softening the rules and then there's abandoning them altogether. I don't think you can soften the rules. And I mean, I get that the Liga have got a reason to want to keep Messi in their league. So they're obviously not going to be as harsh on them as anyone else would be. But I would be, if I was softening the rules, I think I'd say, okay, fair enough. COVID, any contract you've currently got, you can register those players. For everyone who's currently under contract, they can be registered. But under no circumstances are you allowed to increase your wage outlay. So they're not allowed to re-sign Messi for $500,000 a week without generating that money from somewhere else within their wage bill. I think that's a fair way to slacken things off and but he doesn't let Messi stay. Doesn't look like we're going to be doing the 4-2-4 again anytime soon. Without Messi, La Liga is nothing. Well, then La Liga wants to worry anyway, then, because isn't he like 35?
Keep up the good work.
They're gonna have life without Messi very soon, one way or the other, anyway. Whoppadup. Whoppadup. I think I've said that right. Thank you for the sub. 33, is he? Either way, he's not 23, is he? So they've not got him there for the next 10 years. Doesn't Messi generate like 30% of their income? That kind of thing's quite difficult to prove, I think. Because you're then working on the assumption that all those people buying shirts with Messi on the back wouldn't buy a shirt if it didn't have Messi on the back. And I don't know if that's true or not. New car, thank you for the 11 months.
Sorry that Forza Azure.
Don't know what that means. Sounds like nonsense. Load of old nonsense. Oh, we're in it. Oh, he's actually finished it this time. He's not tried to chip the goalkeeper. Excellent. I've got sports day at Grantham Town Stadium next week. It looks nothing like this. That's awesome, having your sports day at the stadium. Is that a normal thing? Do people have sports days at local football grounds usually? When I was a kid, we just had sports day on the rugby pitches at the school. Right, we want to keep Jones on because we're giving him time playing on the left wing, which is what we've been asked to do. So we'll take Fisher off. In fact, Ben Guy. We haven't played Ben Guy for ages. He was going to be the guy. Why did we stop playing Ben Guy? Nobody knows. That will do. 30% paid by the fans isn't going to go. I'm not sure what that means. Right, final change. We can actually we can swap a striker again. We might try a combination of strikers that doesn't include Worsfold or whatever his name is. Grantham has a running track around it, does it, by golly? My sports day was there too. Is that, I mean, I guess because they're not a proper club, are they? They've never been at this level in real life. I guess it was built more as a community facility that the football club also play at, maybe. Would have been a little bit different in Peterborough, going and playing at London Road. Do I think Messi could succeed in England? Probably. I think probably the question is, would he want to? Is it worth the risk at his age with his legacy? Is it worth risking maybe it not working out? Hydrate, I will. Because it always puts... it'll always be a little thing that people remember. If he turns up in the Premier League when he's already 33 and has a bad season, it'll always be that, well, Ronaldo didn't have a bad season. Ronaldo was good in the Premier League. Depends how important that who's the best player ever thing is. Straight at the back. Posture done. He clearly hasn't checked his Twitter because I did tweet the stadium the other evening. I mean, I get a lot of tweets. I don't look at them all. Don't have time to. Ed Messi wants to move to Stoke. I mean, it's near Alton Towers, so I can get the pull of being at Stoke if you like roller coasters. Messi could play in the Championship for Peterborough. He wouldn't get in our team. Not now we've got Jack Marriott back. I guess if Dembele goes, we'd find a spot for him. But I wouldn't pick him at the moment. Pontifex Maximus, thank you for the sub. Messi isn't coming to the Premier League. We'll stay in the league and then go to the MLS. That seems like a more sensible thing for him to do. He hasn't had a bad season in, what, 13, 14 years? Because he's been playing La Liga with a team built completely around him, with some of the best players in the world playing with him. It's the unknown, isn't it? La Liga have Mbappe next year. As he said, he wants to join Real Madrid. That doesn't help Barca. Do they have the money for him? Will Kane get the golden boot? No. I wouldn't have thought so. How many's... What does he need? 2 more for the golden boot? Or what? Is it 2 more or 3 more? I don't expect us to be sticking multiple goals past Italy. Two more. I mean, it's possible. I'll say now, if he does, then we're winning the Euros. So I think if we score 2 goals past Italy, they're not scoring 3 past us. But at the same time, I don't necessarily see us scoring 2 past them. I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. When did we get Marriott back? Last week? In my save, an AI team got promoted to League 2 and they were amateur still. I've not seen this before. No, I've not seen that before. That's mad. The league is a lot softer defensive-wise than the Premier League. Well, then Messi would potentially struggle in the Premier League, wouldn't he? Right, I think we're going to keep with the 4-2-4 for this game against Gloucester. Weren't they? I know it's Gloucester. Were they newly? They're not newly promoted. We're at home. Let's see how we get on playing the good old 4-2-4. We scored 2 goals in the last match. Sterling is the key. Agree, Sterling is the key. Sterling's player of the tournament for me. Certainly England's player of the tournament. I am very much looking forward to seeing Sterling and Saka running at Italy's defence. Did you hear Posh rejected Northampton for a loan for Broome? I didn't. Merritt's been awful in the Championship. I don't think he'll do that well. He's been awful playing for teams that aren't posh. He'll be fine. We know how to get the best out of him. Donnarumma has never conceded more than 1 goal for Italy in the 5 years he's been their #1. First time for everything. Sterling is a diver. Yeah, he's a professional footballer. You're aware they all are, right? Didn't Posh also bring in the centre-half from Leicester? We did. Knight. We also signed George Grant from Lincoln. We made 3 very good signings last week. Denmark robbed. I agree. We should disallow all goals from questionable set pieces from last night's game and just declare it 1-0 to England. Oh, look, we still won. Ultimately, it doesn't matter if it was a penalty or not, because it probably wasn't a free kick that they scored from. And these things even themselves out eventually. Frank Lampard's goal from 10 years ago and all that. You've seen all the stuff on Twitter. I understand Denmark were upset, but England was clearly the better team. Yeah, exactly. And aside from some very clever set pieces, Denmark didn't offer anything, did they? They offered absolutely nothing going forward. Their set pieces were very clever, but everyone in League 1 and 2 will be doing them until Christmas, and then they'll disappear because everyone will learn how to defend against them. But their fancy corner routines, their fancy free kick routines, they'll all be the flavour of the month for a little while now. And they could have worked. They didn't, ultimately, but they could have done. But if you take the set piece silliness out of the equation, I won't say silliness, the set piece excellence. They were excellent at set pieces. You take that out of it, they offered nothing. Ricky J. Jones on FM by 3rd year is amazing. He is. We used him quite a lot this year on YouTube, Non-League to Legend. He's very good in FM. We'll see how it turns out in real life. I don't think we're going to be playing the 4-2-4 in the league anytime soon. We said we were going to commit to the 4-4-2 for a while. We've moved away from it and immediately lost the game. Their free kick, it wasn't a foul leading up, plus the wall moving was obstruction, but if you look at it, they were shattered on 80. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, the wall thing, their wall has to be a metre away from our wall, and it wasn't. So, straight away, as soon as their wall moved, which is what stopped Pickford from being able to see it, which is why he didn't save it. So, as soon as their wall moved towards our wall, it should have been whistle. No, get back. Not allowed to do that, you rascals. So people can whinge about the penalty all they like, but the free kick was equally questionable. And that goal we scored wasn't. And if not for Sterling shooting right down Schmeichel's throat a few minutes before, we'd have scored an almost identical one a couple of minutes before as well. So I think it's pretty clear we were the better team on the night, as we have been in pretty much every game we've played in the tournament, apart from the Scotland game, when we just got it wrong. But they were playing their cup final, and we were just playing another group game, and they were just more up for it than we were. Will I play F1 2021 when it comes out? I will not. Not interested in Formula 1. Maybe if I succeed in getting properly into football this year, maybe that'll be the next thing I try, because so many of you talk about F1. Maybe I'll try F1 for a year, but not this year. I don't even know when the season starts for Formula 1. It seems to be on all the time. As a Dane, I just want to know what kind of thing Pickford smoked before the match. It was Pickford's distribution in particular. I mean, Pickford had a bizarre game, didn't he? Pickford was very odd. But fingers crossed he's got that out of his system now. Because he's had an excellent tournament until last night. What do I think of the laser in Schmeichel's eye? I mean, there shouldn't have been a laser in Schmeichel's eye. Obviously. But stuff like that does happen, doesn't it? Hopefully they find out. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to work out who did it and just ban them from football for life. Zero tolerance for that kind of thing. They'll soon learn. There'll have been a camera in there picking it. I mean, it's not going to be hard to see. Let's face it, he hit his face. It was a good shot from pretty far away. He's going to be there like this. It's not going to be hard to pick him out on the cameras. Is it fun to play this far down the leagues? Definitely. Lots of fun. Worried I won't be able to find players. That's what your scouts are for. You still get scout reports just like you do higher up the leagues. Andy Fennell's not getting fair amount of game time. You know what then, Fennell? Get out of here. I think he was one of our first signings. And we've just got too many strikers. Just going to dismiss him. And then get him out of here. Get out of here, Fennell. Just because I tasted you when you first arrived. Get lost, Fennell. What's the difference when using a semi-pro side then? Training has much less of an impact because you only train like 2 nights a week. So you can't really do as much with training and all the money numbers are lower because everyone's part-time. But other than that, not really. They're your main difference. Have we played Spenny more yet this season? We have not. We play them end of November, so we might get to that tonight. Did I see the joke about how far Sterling has dived? I didn't. I love the fact there's another Sterling pylon. If it's Harry Kane diving, which he did repeatedly, like they all did, because they're all footballers. Every footballer, as soon as they feel contact, falls over. So, I don't know. It just feels racist to really go after Sterling the way everyone is. It's just another reason to go after Sterling, because people are racist scumbags. There's nothing new. Who is this? Right, he can leave. If he wants to leave, just leave. We don't want to keep anyone here against their will. I mean, we only just signed him. He's played twice. Yeah, you can leave. He started 1 game. I don't understand. That's the one we'll... Oh, get this away. This is the one we'll accept. And the other 2 need to raise their offers. Nice little earner. That comes off. People are going after him because his dive actually decided a Euros semi-final. Yeah. Are they going after him as much as they would have done if he was white? difficult to say. If Sterling hadn't brought the penalty and we went to pens and lost, people were slating him anyway for not going down. That's because people just criticise everything he does. He's been our best player at the tournament by quite a long way. Neil Ardley, go away. Just ended the meeting with, I think I've done as I've been asked. I know I haven't. What's he going to say to that? You can argue with me, Ardley. You can argue with me, Ardley. Hey. People wouldn't have this much of a problem with it if it was Grealish. I mean, Grealish's main selling point, from what I can tell, every time anyone talks about playing Jack Grealish, they don't say, "Oh, look at all the assists he gets. Look at how often he beats his man." The first thing people say about Jack Grealish, most foul player in the Premier League last 2 years. So he dives then. It's the big selling point of Grealish is he dives a lot. They all dive. Big Mike, thank you for 15 months. Sterling's been good, but he's frustrating sometimes. I mean, you could say that of a lot of players, I guess. He's not frustrated me as much as Harry Kane, who, by the way, Harry Kane had an excellent game last night. And I deliberately tweeted it out before he scored, because I knew people would just think, oh, well, he scored again, so you're going to say that. But I thought Kane was excellent last night. I have now seen Harry Kane have a good match. So we can put that one to bed now. Stobbsy. 1-0 up over Darlington. Lovely stuff. The thing with Grealish is less diving and more his great ability to put himself between the ball and the opponent. He's properly good at that. I mean, fine. And people will forevermore say that Sterling dived, but there was contact. he did get taken out from two sides. Yeah, it's soft contact on both sides, but that's not a dive. I've seen dives. That was just a player feeling contact and going down like they're trained to do. Did Anna tidy up her drinks cans? She did, and I haven't tidied mine up, so she now has the moral high ground again. The only thing that annoyed me last night was the substitution timer was 30 minutes late. I mean, I said that at the time. I said when we started extra time, I tweeted out then that I thought it was mad that we hadn't made changes, or I think all we'd done at that point is bring Grealish on in his normal 65-minute slot. But it seemed mad that Denmark had made 5 changes and we'd only made 1. But to be fair, as he's done several times this tournament now, Southgate showed he knows better than me. And game management was spot on. That last 3 minutes where we just knocked the ball around and didn't let Denmark have the ball was the most professional I've ever seen an English team play. We didn't just run it out to the corner flag and lose the ball. We didn't have one idiot still trying to score a goal even though we're trying to keep possession. We just very professionally knocked the ball around the entire team and didn't let Denmark have a kick. It was like watching a real football team, and I've never felt that way watching England before. It was glorious. Dives throwing yourself on the floor without contact. He felt contact along with the momentum he was running. There's a reason he went down. Agreed. But ultimately, Kyle, the situation we've got, we're English, so we will forever say, it's not a dive. It's a soft penalty, but it's not a dive. Anyone who's not English will say that's a dive and ignore the fact that the Denmark free kick shouldn't have been given either. And even if you are going to give it, even though it shouldn't have been, the goal should have been disallowed because they cheated by moving the wall across in front of ours and getting within a metre of our wall. So if you're gonna, you know, I'm all for, let's end the argument here. Let's retrospectively go back and disallow any goal that came from a set piece that shouldn't have been given last night. And then we never have to talk about the penalty again because it's gone. But so is their goal, and England win 1-0. It works either way. It's fine. But it'll just be one of those things that's talked about forever, like the ball not crossing the line in 66, like the hand of God, like the Lampard goal. It's just going to be one of those things that's part of footballing history forevermore now. I don't like the booing of the opposition national anthem. Oh, no, there is no need for that. And I'd like to think that it's just the subset of racist turd sacks. The same ones who are booing the taking the knee are the ones who are booing the national anthems. And unfortunately, we're still letting them have tickets to football matches, even though they're disgracing themselves and making us look awful. But I'd like to think, and I might be being a bit optimistic here, I'd like to think the majority of England fans are appalled by the booing of the national anthems. It does make England look bad. But not that I'm condoning it, because I don't. I can almost see where the logic ends up with booing the national anthems, though. When you've got the rest of the world openly hating you all the time, which we have, I can kind of see why, if you're of that mindset anyway, everyone hates us, well, we'll boo them then. We're given as good as we get. I can kind of see, although I don't agree with it, I can kind of see where their logic comes from. But yeah, it needs to stop. Again, it's one of those things, it's relatively easy to pick up on stadium CCTV. Just don't let them have tickets anymore. Simple. Non-tech, thank you very much for the sub. We wouldn't boo if they voted for us in the Eurovision. Exactly. They hate us, so they won't vote for us. Ultimately, everyone hates us. And that's why some people react the way they do. You know what helps not being hated? Not colonizing. I mean, I'm no historian, Mike. I don't think anyone in the ground last night did any colonizing. There's a lot of things from history that could be brought up that I'm not going to mention. But if we're talking about every wrong a nation's done in their history, yeah, we've done some bad stuff, but so's everybody else. Tapirs, thank you very much for the sub. I watched 5 streams today and they've all talked about the penalty. It was soft, but people need to get over it. England and Italy deserve to be in the final. Exactly. Right, Ben Guy is sad, so he can just leave as well. Anyone who's not happy that they're not playing can just leave. It's fine. Booing a national anthem can only be explained as we don't like you. I think it's so shameful. I agree. We shouldn't be done. But, like I say, is it a response to, well, you don't like us, so we don't like you? let's not start listing all of the bad things that countries have done in their history, because I feel like that's a road that nothing good can be found down. I think we're all intelligent enough to know that there are lots of countries that have done lots of things that they probably aren't particularly proud of now. And I think we're all sensible enough to understand that these were things that were done in the past by people who aren't us. That doesn't mean we did them. But yeah, I don't think we need to be listing everything that everybody has done. How do I think the final will pan out? I think it'll be very, very close. Very, very tight game. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was a 0-0 and went to penalties. And if it goes to penalties, I struggle to see my boy Donnarumma failing, sadly. So I think we need to try and win it in normal football. It really comes down to how well the old men at the back for Italy can deal with the pace of our attack. If Italy are playing Emerson at left back again, then I've got to believe that Saka is going to have a lot of fun down that right hand side, or their left hand side. So fingers crossed they play Emerson and their old men at the back struggle to cope with our pace and we absolutely ruin them. That's the dream scenario. Whether it's Saka or Sancho or whoever else down that right hand side, I think it has to be one of those two. And then have Sterling running around all over the place in the middle. Basically, the goal we scored last night. You need to keep replicating that. But I think we've got to target Emerson. Which does make me think, as much as I am like chairman of the Saka fan club, I even got Saka on the back of my Arsenal shirt. But I do wonder if Sancho might be the man to ruin Emerson's day. Because you have Saka in the team because of what he can do defensively as well. But part of me thinks you just put Sancho, you tell Sancho you're not on the right hand side of midfield. You are a right-sided forward. Your job is to never be anywhere near any other Italian player other than Emerson. Pin him back the entire game, turn him inside out over and over again, and ruin him. I mean, that's what I do. Chiellini's just going to laugh Kane to death at the coin toss. I mean, I loved seeing that at the penalty shootout. That was, I mean, Chiellini's awesome. I love Chiellini. But I won't love him for Sunday evening. Not going to say I feel sorry for the dyed blonde hair with those eyebrows. I'm not sure what that means. I'm a little confused. Scots have supported 4 teams now and still 0 wins. Oh, dude. Do I think Sterling died? We just talked about that extensively. No, he's a footballer. He fell over when he felt contact, like they all do. But it wasn't a blatant dive. You put any other player on the pitch for either team in the situation Raheem Sterling was in, and they go to ground there. I don't think you fault the player. I think there's an argument for faulting the referee. It was a very soft penalty, but I don't think you can expect a professional footballer in 2021 to not go to ground when they feel contact in the penalty area. It's just unrealistic. You only love Chiellini for his long throw ability. I love him for his beautiful smile. As a Dane, it sucked to lose the way we did. Sure, England's the better team and they played a better game, but we held our ground until that weak penalty. Losing any other way would have been better. Yeah. Chiellini just seems like a fun guy to be around. He does. And like I've said before, he's also the most Italian-looking man in history. If you look up Italian man in a dictionary, there's a picture of Chiellini in there. We're not really built for going down to 10 men. This is problematic. We're just I don't know what to do. I think we have to do this. Maybe like that. Which seems disastrous. Sterling and Saka will run the two centre-backs ragged, then Grealish will twist up their tired legs for a Kane penalty. That works for me. My electricity just went off for a brief second. Back again. Not good. It was an excellent free kick last night. For sure it was an excellent free kick. Should have been disallowed because of the wall shenanigans, but no need to be bitter. Imagine arguing about a set-piece decision after the event. What kind of life would that be? Oh dear. Deary, deary me. What? Who's laughing? Right. How are we doing against this? This is we're playing against my potential non-lethal legend team here. We're playing against Brackley. We should be taking notes. How are Brackley doing? How hard of a job have I got? Oh, they're in the relegation zone. We probably should have beaten them. Who has longer arms, Pickford or a T-Rex? Someone's, I mean, you know me, out of touch with football for a long time. Someone's got to explain this Jordan Pickford's arms thing. I don't understand. I guess it's just some dumb thing someone said at some point and it became a meme. I'm going to need it explaining to me though. Because last night Twitter was just full of tiny arms stuff. Got a call from my boss today saying the company are giving everyone the day off Monday because of the final. They don't want people coming to work hungover. Oh dear. Sometimes I think people don't realise it is possible to watch football without being drunk. It is allowed. If the Sterling penalty was a dive, why didn't the VAR team overrule it? I mean, they explained that on commentary. It wasn't a dive. It wasn't a clear and obvious error, and that's what VAR has to. It has to be a clear and obvious error for decision to be overruled, and it wasn't. It was just there's a little bit of contact. It's probably not a penalty. That's not a clear and obvious error, so you can't overrule it. I don't drink, so that made me laugh. Good work. Stop lying, Kev. Boris explicitly told me I have to drink 147 pints to save England. Yeah. We are still on a cup run, boys and girls. 4th qualifying round. Why wasn't the game scheduled for Saturday? The major finals are always on a Sunday, aren't they? Ever since I was a kid, the finals have always been on a Sunday of both World Cup and the Euros. I'm a little bit surprised there's no third place playoff. I know they don't normally have it in the Euros, but they do at the World Cup. They did when the World Cup had fewer teams than this Euros has had. You'd think they'd want to squeeze in one extra game on Saturday and do a third place playoff. I was really annoyed at the ITV guys basically telling everyone to stay up and get drunk. That's a bit much. Yeah, I mean, I tweeted out last night, I love the fact I don't have to watch ITV at all now until the World Cup. I've got no excuse to put that station on for any reason until the World Cup now. If this goes on YouTube, which save will it replace? It won't. That is, it won't replace a save. Hopefully it will carry on being on YouTube. The general plan will be, for the time being, for the next like 10 days or so, I'll just replace a video here and there like I did today, or put this out as a second video at the weekend or something. But once we get into the summer holidays, which is only like 10 days away, we'll be down to one video a day on YouTube anyway. And this can just be a second video on the days when it needs to be done, if we carry on doing videos, which all depends on how well supported they are. But yeah, if we're doing regular videos for this, they'll just be extra bonus videos. Once we get to the summer holidays and go down to one video a day, that's probably a permanent change then. I don't anticipate going back to 2 videos a day at all. There'll be a period during the beta for FM22 probably when I'm doing the beta Let's Play every day and then doing some tutorials and stuff. So there'll probably be maybe a month there where I'm doing 2 videos a day, but it won't be 2 series. I think the days are, well, I think, I am certain the days of doing 2 Let's Plays at a time on YouTube are finished. So we'll be starting 2022 with non-lethal legend. And then when that's done, we'll do a 1 club save with somebody. And then if we've still got time left before FM23, which seems ridiculous to be talking about that, then we'll figure out what to do then at that point. I was thinking about FM23, as you do. That's going to be coming out during the World Cup, unless something changes. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, it would be great fun for playing along. But for me, as someone whose income relies on, like, I earn half my money for the year in the FM launch. If the FM launch is ruined because there's a World Cup going on and people aren't watching YouTube content, I'm not quite sure how I feed myself the following June. So I don't know if I want the game to come out earlier or later, or whether it'll actually be a good thing if it comes out during the World Cup. It'll bring more hype to Football Manager in general, but people won't have time to watch content as much. Because the Euros has killed FM content on YouTube. My views are down massively. Literally from the day the Euros started, my views went... And I'm hoping they go back up again. Now, pretty much. Launch plus World Cup. It could be. That's the thing. It's just the unknown, isn't it? It's the unknown, which is the fear when it's your livelihood. We shall see. Surprised me, thought it'd be better for views. People don't have time to watch. If you think about it, if I'm releasing 2 videos a day, and a lot of people who watch me are also watching Ben and Jack and Zealand, so between, let's say, just us 4. Between us 4, and I know there's others, but between us 4, you're getting maybe 30 videos a week. How do you fit 30 YouTube videos a week that largely release from like lunchtime onwards into the same day when there's 3 football matches on that you want to watch? It's just difficult to fit it all in, isn't it? It is a while until then, but I like to plan well in advance. You know, it's for most of you, it's just a game that comes out in a year or over a year and a half. For me, it's business planning for the next financial year. You know, I'm a grown-up. I run my business like a grown-up runs their business. So I'm doing like, it's not sales forecasts because it's not really sales, but view forecasts and income forecasts and things, and kind of planning what I'm going to focus on based on, like, I haven't decided to go down to 1 video a day because I don't fancy doing 2 anymore. I think it's better for the channel. Oh God, this is potentially a perfect storm of evil. Steve Evans has become available the day Fergie gets sacked. Oh, can you imagine? Oh God. Not just the Euros though. Wimbledon is on 2, so there's so much free to air sport all the time. YouTube gets less priority. Yeah, I imagine. Views will change soon once everyone gets back to work. I think the majority of people are back to work now. And my business isn't based on how things have gone during COVID. I've got the data going back. I mean, I was doing this full time for nearly 3 years pre-COVID. So I'm not planning the rest of my life based on how the last year has been. With 3 games a day, it's hard to find time to watch 6 or 7 YouTube vids. All games, do family stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So that's my worry for if FM comes out during the World Cup or just slightly before the World Cup, that the World Cup could kill the launch. From a creator point of view, just kill the launch of the game. We'll see, I guess. I often watch videos next to the game. I think you're probably in the minority there, though, Mike. Looking at my numbers, unless I just really offended everybody coincidentally around about the time the Euros started. Maybe I've got loads of Harry Kane fans in my audience, and they all caught that one stream where I said I'd never seen him have a good game and decided they weren't going to watch anymore. Maybe start non-league session afterwards and do some international stuff alongside the World Cup. See, now you're thinking like a businessman, Mike. These are the kind of things I've been thinking. And you are definitely onto something there. I have already got written down in my book that I'll probably be starting non-league to legend after the World Cup and doing a longer beta save that year, along with some international based content. And that launch really focusing in on the tutorial stuff, because I think, like you say, I think there'll be, I'm giving everyone clues on how my content's going to be in 18 months, but I think the World Cup puts more eyes on the product. If they time the launch right, it could be the biggest launch ever from their game perspective. So I'm going to be producing a lot of content that's targeting those new people with tutorial kind of stuff. Like I've dipped my toe in a little bit this year, do a longer beta save to go alongside it, just probably stream more than I have during the Euros, and then non-league to legend will start like the day after the final and just explode is the plan. That's the plan as it looks at the moment anyway. Just make sure you save extra money just in case. Always do, Beagles. I think I've talked before on here that I save half of everything I earn, because I'm terrified of having to get a real job again. Every pound I earn, 50p goes into my savings. Will I stream watch-alongs? I don't know. I kind of like just being able to watch the game, but I guess it depends on market forces at the time. I might toy with doing some watch-along stuff this year and see how I feel about it. Might do some... I could do some Arsenal watch-alongs. I could do some posh watch-alongs. I know we're on the telly a couple of times early on in the season. We're actually on Sky the day of my brother's wedding. We play Derby the day my brother gets married, and we're live on Sky, which initially I thought, well, that's rubbish. But then I thought, or is it? Because that makes it a lunchtime kickoff, which means it now fits perfectly around the wedding, so I can watch it on my phone. I can watch it on my phone at the wedding venue. I need to grow my hair long by August so I can cover my AirPods with my hair so I can listen to it. Who's my favourite player I've ever had on a YouTube or Twitch series? Vladislav Lazarov, Enoch Nuhu. I know there's been so many heroes. Harrison Davies. I loved Diana tweeted me last night. Yeah, she had to edit that. She didn't tell me until afterwards, but apparently because the clip she put out was me celebrating the Kane goal, but it starts immediately with me cheering, because immediately before I'm cursing his dropping a few expletives at him missing a penalty. So she cut out the potty mouth and it just starts immediately with the celebration. But the actual full video she showed me is quite funny. A watch along posh game at a wedding. What, take my laptop and stream a watch along wearing my wedding costume? Who's my most hated FM player, either on my team or an opposition player? It's usually opposition managers rather than players I fall out with. Cristiano Ronaldo always sticks out as a big rival from years ago. Hated players, I don't know. I don't really have hate in me. I'm too much of a nice guy. Kev can't hate. Will I be on Minecraft again? Yes, absolutely. I'm loving Minecraft at the moment. I'm actually toying with the idea of doing some Minecraft content on YouTube, as well as streaming bits on the FM server. Doing a single player world again, like I did a few years ago. The only problem is finding time. I'm talking about trying to cut down on the FM stuff so we can focus on the vlog for the summer and get out and about after a year and a half of being cooped up, get out and about and do some things. And then on the other hand, I'm like, but I could do daily Minecraft content for a month. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do that, but I am loving Minecraft at the moment. Minecraft is probably my second favorite game ever after Football Manager. I really enjoy Minecraft. Thomas Lamptey. But I don't hate him, he's just the one that got away. The Turd is a good shout, definitely. You love Minecraft, you just hate everyone in it. I don't hate everyone in it, I just hate when they pick on me. Anna banned me from playing on the FM server. I'm now allowed back on because they've agreed to not pick on me. But Anna told me off for letting myself be bullied. Oh dear. Joseph Anang was notoriously dodgy in Goal for Ball in the original series. Yeah. This year's home saves were my favourite of all FM playoffs. I think it is pretty, it's there for me now, I think. It's I've enjoyed it all the way through, but I just think the homegrown element of it has led to so many awesome... Can I just point out, that shadow effect on those trees is really quite impressive for Football Manager. Utterly unnecessary. Stop wasting graphics engine on that. It's a nice touch. What was I saying? Yeah, I've loved home. Loved it. Now all the podcast crew have Twitch. You can now do it on Twitch with Sheepdog and Power Banana. Them lot. Basically, you got yelled at for being bullied. Yeah, for allowing it to happen. Because I'm an adult and shouldn't allow myself to be getting bullied on the internet. It wasn't so much she told me off, it was more a case of you're just not allowed to play with them anymore. You can play on your own, you're not allowed to play with them because they bully you and you don't... It was more of, they bully you and you don't realise it's happening. I think I realised they were picking on me. Don't look at the actual trees. Yes, agreed. Fallen out of love with FM in the last year or so. Since maybe Christmas, I haven't been on it much and I haven't watched much FM content. I think it's probably because of the birth of my first son. You got it the wrong way around then, Kyle. You need to get him into it. Get him into FM now. There's pictures of me as a young nerd with Harry Potter spectacles on, with a Lucy-shaped baby sat on my knee playing Championship Manager on my old computer with the big box monitor, my beige computer. Yeah, you need to get him into the game. Start him young. You don't want him to become a FIFA guy, surely. Do you reckon we could finish a game with 11 men on the pitch at some point? Is there another streamer showdown coming up? As far as I know, yes. You can just move from FM to Minecraft, then I can watch all your streams. If you could guarantee that I would get 1 million views a month playing Minecraft, then yes. Otherwise, got to pay them bills, which means I've got to stick with Football Manager. When he was small and didn't wiggle and run off all the time, he was on my knee while I was playing. Since he's been active, it's got harder. You need to, like, tie him down then. Strap him to you. Ats will always be my favourite player of yours just because of his fire and, like, you know, to get sent off at bad times. Yeah. Ats was great. I'm hoping Kleber can become the new Ats. Even though I can't win with Kleber. I side him, play him on the left wing, and all I get for a week is play Kleber at left back, play Kleber in midfield. He gets injured, drops out of form. Ian comes in on the left-hand side and is brilliant. So when Kleber comes back into the team, it's in central midfield. Now all I'm getting is, why are you playing Kleber in midfield? Kleber's a winger. I haven't looked. I assume it's not the same people. I can't win. Okay, if you're streaming tomorrow. I won't be streaming tomorrow. Next week now, probably. Kleber's name doesn't suit the Ats role. Change it to Clubber then. I, for one, want Ian back up front instead of Jose and Kleber on the wing. Jovanovic is the future up front, I think. I like Juan Jose. I think he links things together really nicely for us. But I think Jovanovic plays there long term. McKenna is more of an Ats. Well, again, long term, I think McKenna and Kleber together in midfield is probably where we're heading. Welcome to YouTube comments. Yeah. Jovanovic is the ultimate support striker. Yeah, I think Jovanovic in behind Veloso, Park on one side, Ian on the other, Kleber and McKenna in midfield. I think that's the team. Both are not really playmakers. McKenna has got a lovely long pass on him. He can do playmaker stuff. And I think the steal that you get in that central midfield from them then, with their combined height of about 13 feet, their combined tackling of about 35, I don't think you ever lose the midfield battle with Kleber and McKenna in there. Veloso is the real deal, definitely. I agree with Jovanovic, but not Juan Jose. Neither him or Jordi have impressed me yet. I think a lot of that is to do with the price tag. Because they were 50, 60 million pounds each, you expect more of them. Whereas someone like Kleber's 12 million, Veloso's 2.5 million, Park's like less than 1 million. So you expect more from the guys who cost more, whereas you shouldn't really, because they're all just young players. They cost what they cost. You pay what you're paying for them, not because of who they are and how good they are, but because of who they came from. Jordi came from Barcelona. Park came from some Korean club. That's why Jordi was so much more expensive. Wish I could get into Minecraft. Seems like my sort of game, but I can never commit time to learn it. Then you should watch our streams on Minecraft. How's Jack got nearly 500 more views? Because he started his new save tonight, didn't he? Not that I want to offer you an advert and a reason to go and watch Jack. But yeah, he started his new save tonight. So he's going to have more viewers tonight. Probably not. Normal service will be resumed next stream. No matter the price, Jordi's just not performed yet. He will. He's still young. He's still young. And if he doesn't really matter. I look at the average price rather than the fact that he's 66 million. Let's not worry about it. If we end up selling him for 20 million in a year's time because he didn't make it, then LOLLUJO did. It doesn't matter which one of them does better. Part of it for sure, but looking at the average rating, it just doesn't seem like they're really doing anything. Yeah, but I've warned you all before about looking at the average rating. It's poppycock. It's nonsense. The average rating will tell you McKenna's not any good. Are you going to tell me McKenna's not any good because he doesn't have a very good average rating? Because that sounds like crazy talk to me. If you're going to tell me McKenna's not any good. You got to be careful about listening to the average ratings. Right, we're going to push forward a little bit more. Not attacking. Positive. Push these two boys on a little bit. In fact, we're going to go to this system. Not this system. This system. Mate, you laugh. I got an email today from YouTube telling me they're taking my old YouTube channel down because of copyright strikes against me for the name me and my mates called ourselves. Nice. What did you call yourself? We're in the big time now. Money isn't really an issue. Yeah, exactly. WSR. It's a train channel. Nice. McKenna has a decent average rating for his position. You have to know which positions get rated which way in FM. Get something out of him. Or just not bother about him. I don't ever even look. The only time I notice average ratings is at the end of the season when it shows me who got what average ratings, and it pushes it really front and center. It's not something I'll ever look at when looking at my players. It doesn't bother me. I watch how they play on the pitch, and I like what both Juan Jose and Jordi offer. The problem is they both offer the exact same thing. We probably didn't need to sign them both. I think if I'd have only got one of them, that one would probably have been established in the second striker role before Jovanovic even existed. As it is, they were both kind of fighting out for it and both being pushed out onto the wings and playing in positions that didn't really work. But I think if we'd have only brought one of them in, then they'd have been playing alongside Veloso for the last 2 years. Jordi has insane mentors. He does. I want him to be my captain, but I need to find a way to get him into the team first. Key highlights, you're mostly going to see the good parts, so I can't really judge overall performance on that. Oh, but I do, Mike. Oh, but I do. And I see them do plenty of good stuff. As long as I'm seeing the good stuff and liking what I'm seeing. Hold the phone. What have we got over here, boys and girls? What have we got over here? Hello, old friend. Well, 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 well. Oh, sugar lumps. Come on, Alfie. For old time's sake. We've got no money. Why is he lower than non-league? He's not. Lowest softer in the league, aren't they? I think. That's who he plays for in real life, I think. Oh, lowest off not in the league. I'm sure that's who he's signed for in real life. I don't think we can take him on loan. But he's definitely someone to keep an eye out for at the end of the season. He's out of... in fact, he's on a non-contract now. So we can't loan him. So if you're on a non-contract, Alfie, why don't you just come... We'll take over your non-contract. Oh, it was at Braintree. Should we have a look? Shall we have a little look to see where Alfie Payne has gone? In fact, I've still got... Oh, no, it's Leamington. Leamington and Lowestoft are different, right? Lowestoft... Probably need to put FC in, don't I? Lowestoft FC. I don't know why I'm doing it this way rather than looking for Alfie Payne. Oh, he is there, though. Oh, he's He's there, but out of contract. There you go. So this is Lowestoft Town FC, out of contract players, Alfie Payne. So yeah, he is at Lowestoft. What do you know? He's better than that. But then, I guess, when he was at Kings Lynn in real life, even though he was a hero for me in FM, when I went to watch Kings Lynn, he wasn't actually a regular starter for them. That day I went to see him and got to interview him and stuff, he was on the bench for him. He wasn't a regular starter. Right, come on, boys. Let's win a football match against Hereford. What, he's at Lowestoft on loan, is he? I'm sure you lot will figure it out for me over the course of this match, what the Alfie Payne situation is. Going back to Kings Lynn on loan. What, from Lowestoft? That doesn't make sense. I think most of the players get annoyed at you because you sold them. Yes, they did. They booed me when I walked into their dressing room, changing room. Dressing room, changing room, changing room. I've always said that wrong. It's probably why I'm not welcome in these rooms. Footballers get upset when you talk about it being the same place as the way actors, the place actors get changed for. I don't get it. The La Liga president said if Man City signed Messi, it's financial doping. As opposed to if Barcelona continue to pay him far too much money. Far more money than any man should earn for kicking a football. Ridiculous. Well, it looks like we're not going to beat Hereford, which is a great shame for all involved. But we are doing quite a nice job of staying ahead of the Kev ratio at the moment and avoiding this relegation battle, which is all we really need to do in this first season, not get relegated. And then we have something to build on for next year. And then once we get our good team together, we'll romp up through the leagues. You know how these lower leagues are like in England. You saw us do it with Kettering this year. Back to back into the Football League. I think they were going to go back to back to back, weren't they? Until I was dragged away by Posh. His LinkedIn says he's at Kings Lynn following time as a free agent while teaching himself A-level maths. But if he needs an A-level maths tutor, teacher, and I did A-level maths. So Alfie, you know where I am. Alfie Payne was a legend in my creative club at United Graham. Try and sign him in every save now. Nice. Do I have any interest in MLS? No. If so, what MLS team do I support? Bourne. They're not quite there yet. But Bourne are my American team. Oh, Stubbsy's good, isn't he? Even against a team we're obviously not as good at, Stubbsy stands out as being really very good at football. That's a lovely goal as well. Someone's drank all my beverage. Can we just appreciate this goal from the other angle, please, boys and girls? Look at the state of this. How much space they've given him there. Oof. Beautiful stuff. If you want to post a link, you'll have to send it to one of the mods for them to post. The chat's set up so that you can't post links. Oh, by the way, this time next week, it will have already happened. Next Thursday, we're going to be on the Twitch front page for an hour. Between 7 and 8 p.m. I want everybody here. I'm taking a register. It's the charity stream we're doing for War Child. And we are Twitch front page between 7 and 8 p.m. And it's going to be very exciting. Watch me try and cope with a busy stream. You think I'll be able to cope with a busy stream? Alfie Payne's my midfield engine in non-league. I signed him at Born USA. Nice. Come on, boys. Let's do another football, shall we? Oh, here we go. We've got the transfer market thing for Alfie Payne now. I'm assuming we don't care about the match that we're losing in. There's no picture of him. We should fix that. So current club, Kings Lynn Town, joined March 8th, 2021. Oh, so he's gone back. So he was at Lowestoft, but he's gone back. No, so he was at Braintree. I mean, he must have gone to Lowestoft. But it's not showing on here. But for Wikipedia to say Lowestoft and for FM to say Lowestoft suggests he must have actually been at Lowestoft. Presumably between Braintree and Kings Lynn. Does this maybe only show conference level and up? Because Lowestoft are below that? Is that maybe why it doesn't show? Like my one appearance for Blackstones isn't on here because it wasn't at conference level. Maybe that's what's happened here. No hashtag players are in transfer market. It's probably that then. How many more viewers would I expect? I have no idea. I've never been on the front page before. I know when the Streamer Showdown was on there, they had thousands. But I guess that's a more appealing watch for someone who's just browsing. Because it looks like a really professional thing. Whereas this will look like Football Manager. So it's difficult to say. I don't know. Do you know of any FM creators who've ever been on the front page before? And how many extra viewers did they get? I guess that's a good way to gauge. Tweet him and ask him. Have I even got him on Twitter? I don't think I've ever spoken to Alfie Payne via the medium of the internet. I think I've only ever spoken to him in person. Tom Elliott. I could tweet and ask Tom Elliott. Tom Elliott follows me. He's in that select group of footballers who follows me. Tom Elliott, Craig McCall-Smith, Reece Bennett. That's probably your list, I think, of footballers that follow me. It's quite an esteemed group. I'll try and be here, but I'm on call. I mean, you might just have to leave your job then, Beagles. This is, priorities. It's starting to feel like your job's a higher priority than my stream. I don't know if I can cope with that. Where do your loyalties really lie, you monster? First you're studying for a test when you should be watching the stream. Now you might not be able to be in the stream because you've got to work. Imagine if I used that excuse. No, can't stream tonight. Got to work. I mean, to be fair, I didn't stream last night because I was watching telly. Must be close. Don't even have to call him Sir Tom Elliott. I am a monster. My family and Bill's. What, Bill's the restaurant? He loves going out for a fish finger sandwich at Bill's. I love the fact that they're a restaurant that do fish finger sandwiches as well. That's exceptional. So they have them down your way, Beagles. Is Bill's a national chain? It must be. They do fish finger sandwiches, for goodness sake. How could that not be a national chain? I have one pro footballer following me only because he used to play with my bro 2 years ago at U Franks. Made his pro debut with FC Dallas's second team earlier this season. Lovely old stuff. Never heard of him. Yet they're a higher priority than me. That tells me all I need to know, Beagles. I need a new mod, boys and girls. Beagles is done. He prioritizes a restaurant he's never heard of ahead of me. I need to show you that Bill's exists now. If I can learn to use a computer. Bill's restaurant. This doesn't look right. Is this the right place? I don't think this is the right place. That doesn't look like the right logo. Oh, maybe it is. There you go. There's one at Rushton Lakes. Find your bills. But they've got them all over the place. There you go. That's the logo I recognise. Careers at Bill's. But they do fish finger sandwiches. Dinner menu. Now you're talking that. Mini Cumberland sausages. It's on here somewhere. I've been here and had a fish finger sandwich. I'm certain of it. I don't know why I'm showing you this. Don't even see it anymore. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong place. But there you go. This is what Beagles prioritises ahead of me. Place where you can get a halloumi and avocado burger. What a bunch of hipsters. What a bunch of hipsters. Best save I've ever played. The home save on YouTube at the moment. Lukey, thank you very much for the sub. Kev looking for restaurants during the stream for about the 20th time. This is why we love the stream. That's so random. Look, sometimes you got to check a restaurant out. I feel like I'm doing you all a service, showing you that there is a place you can get fish fingers from. I mean, I have a reason for needing to know that, because fish fingers are one of the few things Andy eats. I'm sure it's Bill's where we can go and he can have fish fingers. But I enjoy their fish finger sandwich too. Although, weirdly, they put both tartar sauce and ketchup on it, which just seems like overkill. Pick a side, Bill's. We don't want tartar sauce and ketchup. Quite frankly, I'd prefer if you left the sauce off and just brought a bottle of sauce to the table and let me apply my own. But if you've got to apply a sauce, go the McDonald's bacon roll route and ask me which one I want, and then put that on it. Don't put tartar sauce and ketchup on there. That's absolute madness. I've also had a fish finger sandwich there. There you go. Valdexos confirming you can definitely get a fish finger sandwich at Bill's. I'm not insane. Looks too fancy for something called Bill's. I was expecting a burger van. I mean, that's what they're called. Bill's. They do halloumi and avocado burgers. You know the guy who owns that has got a beard and glasses and a full sleeve of tattoos. But he wears them over a shirt that he has braces over to hold up his chinos over his Birkenstocks. You know the guy. Owns a ukulele. That's Bill. Really big beard. Used to go to Bill's in Cambridge before job interviews when I lived there. Nice place, but sort of expensive. That defines it perfectly. Man bun. Probably has got a man bun, yeah. Man bun is the epitome of nerd style. After it, hipster style, really, not nerd. Nerds are usually too bald to have man buns. Does Andy put sauce on his fish fingers? He doesn't. Ketchup and tartar sauce together in a fish finger sandwich with a bit of salt and vinegar is the only way. Absolutely insane. That was oddly specific. I mean, you've met Bill. We've all met Bill. We all know a Bill. Anyone who hangs around with hipsters has met a Bill. And surely you can tell by looking at my thick plastic framed glasses and my beard that I wish I was a hipster. I'm too fat to be a hipster. That's my problem. One day I'll lose weight and go full hipster and you won't know what's happened. You'll just turn up for a stream one day and I'll be wearing a waistcoat over a checked shirt. And I'll have one of those ear-stretching earrings in. And you'll be like, oh God, he lost weight. He's gone full hipster. Look at him. He's had his lip pierced. What's he done? He lost weight. He's gone full hipster. He warned us it would happen one day. Petition for Kev to get a man bun. I'm not patient enough to grow it out. I get really irritated. The reason I cut it so short at the sides is not because I'm really cool, even though it does look really cool. It's because it irritates me when I've got hair around here. So growing my hair long enough to have a man bun would be a nightmare. I just looked for a picture of Bill Collison. Who's Bill Collison? Short grey hair, but full hipster. Big plastic glasses, pale coloured jacket, stripy shirts. Is that the guy who owns Bill's the restaurant? That's amazing if it is. I mean, we knew what he looked like the moment we saw there was an avocado and a halloumi burger on the menu that wasn't even on the separate vegetarian menu. It was the top burger on their list. That is the Bill from Bill's. That is amazing. Hold on. I mean, you knew as soon as their number one burger, before Bill's classic burger, he's got the halloumi and avocado burger. So what's his name? Bill Collison. I mean, yeah. He's a little older than I thought he would be. They must have been running a little bit longer. But yeah, this looks like the guy. That's his tiny house that he lives in. That is the guy. Look at him. Look at him. When he was younger, absolutely had a man bun. He's probably still got a Bruce Grobbelaar ponytail at the back. We just can't see it in these photos. Disappointing with his lack of hipster beard. I mean, he's got a little bit of stubble there. There you go. Didn't think we'd be looking at pictures of Bill today. Is that a slightly younger Bill with a little bit more hair? And a scarf and a chicken? Of course he's holding a chicken. Why is he not? What? I mean, that's my new Twitter profile. I want a picture of me holding a chicken. Have I been to Annie's Burger Place? That's in Nottingham, isn't it? I've heard of it, but we've never been there. The problem with trying to go somewhere like that in Nottingham, and I do really want to, but the problem with going somewhere like that in Nottingham is Nottingham has Red's True Barbecue, Red Dog Saloon. It had a third barbecue space for a while, but I think that's shut down. I can't remember what that one was called. But it's pretty hard for us to look past barbecue when we're in Nottingham. He's the most hipster bloke in his 50s I've seen for a while. That'll be me one day. Do I have any pictures with Dr. Ben? Why? Probably. I think we've done a few thumbnails together. I mean, that should be so. That's something you could probably just Google. LOLLUJO, Dr. Benji. There you go. That's us sat next to each other. There's one of us stood up at that same event as well. That's me and Ben. Sat next to each other for the draft for the thing. Is he done one of them? All right, Football Manager. Thanks for inviting Ben to do one of them. But yeah, that's us sat together. Oh, for the chicken picture. Doesn't count, does it? Are you calling Ben a chicken? Is he a chicken? Certainly afraid of Kev when it comes to Football Manager. Right, who are we playing now? Darlington again. Didn't we beat them in the cup before? We did. How much money did we make from the FA Cup run? Good money. I mean, that's a decent wedge of cash. Really, they should release me some of that to let me sign Alfie Payne. Can I have some more wage budget, please? Or failing that, some more transfer budget that I'll turn into wage budget. Either of these are fine with me. But first, can I go on a coaching course rather than Tom Batchelor, not Ekpateta? I feel like I need it more. Well, they're not going to increase our budgets or send me on a course. And that guy's called Mackenzie DeKicko. Ben guy's got a grumpy on. Well, get out. I thought I already told him to leave the club. I thought I already told him we were finished. Just get out of here. If you're unhappy, leave. That goes for all of this lot. Get out. Can we just highlight all of them? You can't select all from this screen. We've got too many unhappy players. Did you see the Irish guy is trying to set up a charity? What Irish guy? I feel like you've got to be an awful lot more specific. I reckon there's more than one Irish guy. Trying to set up a charity football game. HITC Sport. I don't know what that is. YouTube. I don't watch any sports YouTube. It's all rubbish. He has a YouTube channel, does he? Is it any good? It's not as good as mine, presumably. I'd like to think. He wishes he was me. You've never heard of HITC Sport. What? Why would I have done? Does he do cookery? Unless he does cooking videos, I probably wouldn't have watched his stuff. The only things I really watch on YouTube are wrestling news and people cooking things. So unless he does one of those two things, I don't know he exists. 490,000 subs. Basically just an angry Irish man. He just rages at stuff. I mean, you're really selling this channel to me. Oh, how I wish I had checked it out. It sounds right up my street. Ooh, I can't wait to watch. I mean, if he can cook an omelette, I'll watch him do that. I don't have any interest in watching someone rage at stuff. Planning to get a football YouTube 11-a-side match in London in late August. Who are you? Don't know who he is. There you go. In the meantime, we've conceded a goal. Fantasizes over Paul McShane. I don't know what a Paul McShane is either. Pretty sure he wears a lovely scarf, does he? He mentioned Zealand in one of his videos. Oh, so he's a buffoon. He has no taste when it comes to Football Manager creators, I understand. Why didn't you just say, have I seen that there's a buffoon who knows who Zealand is? Hideous. He's getting a tattoo of Patrick Bamford on himself because Leeds finished higher than 10th. My goodness me. Yeah, I'm understanding why I've not stumbled across this kind of content. It doesn't feel like anything that I would enjoy watching. He was mocking Zealand for being a hipster. What's his YouTube channel? Get this subscribed to immediately. HITC Sport. That one? If he's mocking Zealand, I'm on board. Absolutely on board. He's my best buddy. I'll play in his football tournament. He called Zealand a football hipster who actually knows nothing. No joke. Oh, I love this guy. Never has one man so accurately described another in the history of the universe. Oh, it's sensational. I hate when teams try to sign my players when there's only 6 months left. Just offer them longer contracts. Treat your players better. Give them nice long deals so they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay their bills come August. Paul McShane's my next showdown first pick. I still don't know who he is, but I'm on board. Oh dear. Oh dear me. That feels like a pretty sloppy goal to be conceding from such a deep cross. He's a defender. Who is Zealand? I've never heard of him. Need to sort you out with a gifted sub. 35-year-old Rochdale centre half. Get in the van. Sounds great. Only FM YouTuber I've heard of is Kev. Only through the vlogs. I'm the only one you need. The rest of them are rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. You wouldn't like them. They're just cheap Kev knockoffs. That pab clip of him saying he's never heard of Zealand is great. Yeah, he's a man of the people, Pab. He says what everyone else is thinking at all times. Oh, we've done our own big deep cross. That's basically a replica of the goal they just scored at the other end that I wasn't happy with conceding. But I tell you what, boys and girls, I'm really rather pleased with scoring it. Lovely old stuff. Let's have a look at it again, shall we? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Beautiful. 3-2 before half time. This is a football match. Kev's the only one of famous birthdays, so that's true. That is the mark of a true internet sensation if you're on famous birthdays. I mean, just saying, if you want to check my famous birthdays now, you've probably got time to make last post to get me a gift here for Saturday. Just going to throw that out there for you. It is my birthday on Saturday. I love getting gifts. PO Box is in the description to all my videos. What, have you sent me a card? You haven't sent me a card? Oh, I thought we were friends. So you off my Christmas card list? Hideous. Gotta go start on my duties mowing the lawn. Would be my brother's turn, but he's in North Carolina for a league playoff for football. Nice.
_O gifted a tier 1 sub to Scolary.
Thank you very much for the gifted sub. My gift to you is England getting to the final. I'll take it. You're the only one who can gift me that, though. Has Zealand got 6 streamer trophies? No, of course he hasn't. Well, to be fair, neither have I, because I've never been given a physical trophy. I just have to buy myself crowns. But it's almost the same. One of those other FM tournaments has trophies, don't they? I think I should be given some of those. Ow, I just kicked my computer. Oh, that really hurt. Oh, this is why you should wear shoes when you're streaming, kids. Ah, I've kicked my computer. Oh, ow, ow. Castro's streaming Fall Guys to 8.6k people. I forgot it was the first week in August 2020. I know, it's mad, isn't it? More21, thank you very much for the 5 months. Beautiful, beautiful 5 months. It's much appreciated. I'm considering all of these subs at this point birthday presents. Thanks for my birthday present. That's very kind. I've really hurt my toe. I need an ice pack on it. We're getting absolutely battered here. How much longer do we carry on going to places like this and counter-attacking only to be absolutely spanked? Or do we just start playing Kev football soon? People seem to be going mad for this Rust game. I don't see the appeal. Hasn't Rust been out for years? Or is there a different Rust game that I don't know about? Oh, there's another finish. So it is the one that's been out for years. They're trying to do another Among Us. Try and bring a game back that's been out forever. It's been out 7 years. My word. Maybe it's because it's now roleplay, is it? Just suddenly became big again for some reason. I don't think I've ever played it. Oh, good. It looks like the bots are here. Well in mods. Between Beagles and Mike, you were all over them in no time. Good work. I watch your videos on 2x speed. You sound like you're underwater. Happy birthday. Nice. I mean, I may not understand everything about the internet. I may be old. I may not get it. But what do they get out of putting a willy in my chat? I don't understand. Why are we having a team meeting? Oh, to lift morale. Are we in that? Is our form that bad? Holy smoke. Might be time to wheel out the 4-2-4 for a few games. There you go. We're whipping them up into a frenzy. And we are going to try this system. We're going to give this system 6 matches. Like we did the 4-2-4, the 4-4-2. Kind of adds a bit of humour. Does it? Right. We're going attacking. Attack against a team below us in the league, actually. So this is a big game. It's a big risk going attacking in a game like this. But we are dangerously close to falling below the Kev ratio. They both said sorry. Ah, well, they're both banned permanently. Because they're wangs. One said accident. Really? I accidentally post an ASCII penis in your chat. Can I please be unbanned? How can that be an accent? I was just leaning on my keyboard and happened to lean on the specific string of characters that looked like a couple of big willies. Oh dear. It's not roleplay. You're clueless. Oh, you're clueless. Been watching people stream it for years. It's no difference. Kev, are you taking that? Are you taking that? He called you clueless. Are you taking that from him? Oh. I just smashed Man City 4-0 in the Champions League group stage. Still might not make it out of it. Nice. I've just done it in another streamer's chat I'm also watching. Definite accident. Perhaps that's where they were trying to put it first time. It was an accident because it ended up here. Oh no, I've put my willies in the wrong stream. I mean, that is a name. Numpty Defiler, thank you for the 2 months. Don't even want to know. I appreciate getting your $5. But was it worth having to say Numpty Defiler? Jaffa Cake, all the numbers. Thank you for 5 months. Just Numpty, it's fine. Thanks. Did you go through your unban request? Would be quite funny. I'd never even looked. I should do that at some point. That feels like August content for when no one's watching Football Manager videos. Come on, boys. Go football. See, I can be a football boy. Do a goal. Do football. Do a football goal. Stubbsies! Disallowed. Shh. Skip. Come on, gentlemen. We need to do a football goal. I've reverted to type now. I can't talk in sports speak any longer. Come on. We need a goal. Oh, why is he just letting him drift past him like that? This is a team in the relegation zone. If we lose against this lot, we're in trouble. We're at home as well. Probably shouldn't have changed the tactic for today. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Oh, there you go. Better tackle. Better attempt at a tackle. Anyway, we still didn't come away with the ball. Oh, my word. He shouldn't be taking shots like that from that kind of range. They are getting a lot more of the ball than we are. I don't think this system works. That being said, if we score here, Kev's a genius. Stubbsy, go do a foot. Oh, he's played it through. Oh. Never mind. Conway's struggling and wants to be substituted. I'll be the judge of if you get substituted or not. Don't you start telling me you want to be substituted. You should want to play for the team. You're going to be reluctantly substituted because we have no other option. So we're going to play Jenkins in midfield again, like we have done multiple times before. The YTJ, thank you very much for the sub. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, can we have a goal in this second half? I think we're going to go attacking. And we're going to offer some encouragement. We've got to try and win this match. A draw is just not enough in a game like this. In fact, we've brought a centre-back on. I'm wondering. Is it time for that again? Not yet. Not just yet. But maybe we might have to wheel that one out. If we concede, we're definitely going to that. We've got 3 centre-backs on the pitch after all. We've got 2 strikers and another centre-back on the bench. I'm now remembering why we had to go to that in the first place, because we had no other players available. The only problem is Stubbsy doesn't really fit into it. Stubbsy or Jones don't really fit into it. Oh, no. So we're going to have to do this instead. There's not a chance this works. Yeah, we're going to do that. We've got to try something now. The old 3 up front trick. I wish it was still a trick. It's more a case of we've only got strikers and centre-backs left. So we're going to play with 3 of each. Come on. Do a football. It would be beneficial to play Aaron Drew in a more familiar position. It would be beneficial to stay out of my business, assistant manager man. Who asked you for your moron opinion? That being said, I am going to make the change. I'm going to try that for the final 20 minutes. Oh, the ball's at the wrong end of the pitch. This is a game we really shouldn't be losing. Come on, Stubbsy. Come on, Stubbsy. Look at that. He can dribble across his own penalty area all day long. What a man. What a player. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Look at the pace on him. Oh. From that angle. And he's done a stationary forward roll. That's harder than it looks. He's done a forward roll there without actually moving forwards at all. So he's kind of done the forward roll whilst simultaneously sliding himself backwards. The goal was impressive. The forward roll was something else. Do we get to have another look at that? No. Never mind. Come on, Stubbsy. Stubbsy. If we turn around a losing position with a 3 at the back, 3 up front again for the second time this season, at what point do we just start playing this? Well, that's twice we've gone to this whilst losing and potentially changed around to win a football match. Football's a strange game. Football Manager's a really strange game. Maybe it's just a 30-minute tactic, not a 90-minute tactic. I think I agree with X. We did try it, the game after it worked last time, and we were ruined. But I think it is a turn a game on its head in the last half hour kind of situation. And it's worked a couple of times doing that now. Do I look Spanish to you? Well, at the moment, yes, I do a little bit, probably. My dad is the new Everton manager, and I look a little bit Spanish. I actually played something similar to that and had great success in the lower leagues in the tier 10 beta database. It's an interesting tactic to maybe keep in the locker for the streamer showdown when we need to just turn a game on its head. It does seem to overwhelm teams in all areas. And you know how much I like to overwhelm. I hate just a regular amount of whelm, but an overwhelm always makes me happy. Come on! Go on, slot it through to him. You know what to do. Or just keep running. I'm a football genius. Kevin Chapman. Football genius. That's what they know me as. Oh, sugar plums. Remember when I used to be a football genius? Those were the days. More! Maybe when we actually went ahead, we should have switched back to something a little bit more sensible. Maybe. Or maybe we've got one more goal in us and I was a genius all along. Come on, here we go. This feels like a winner. This feels like a winner. I know when it feels like a winner. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, this is such an important game for us. Tasty fennel. Everybody taste that, man. Fennel tastes like aniseed, doesn't it? We're having another. Fennel's in again. I mean, the crowd behind the goal are going wild at what they're witnessing in this second half. It's a remarkable turnaround. Stobbsy. From the wing. From the corner, some might say. Stobbsy's been everywhere today. Mainly because we played in both sides at various points. So by his very definition, he's been everywhere. But still, oh, come on, defender, man. Oh, defender, man. Love it. Look what we did. Oh, I just looked up and Paul Merson's face was staring back at me off the telly. That was like a thing out of nightmares. Chapman looks back to strive forward. There you go. Switched to the 4-2-4 and got the result. But on a dreadful run of form. Well, actually, I think you'll find it was the 3-4-3 that turned the game around. Josh Tomlinson. It wasn't you. It might have been you. Doesn't even say who. Is this just Josh Tomlinson's opinion as my press officer? Who's told you? Oh, Sky Sports. Okay. Gonna say, Josh, I don't need your opinion, thanks. Is that Raquel Pike? Yoink. We'll have a bit of that. Now we have to play that next game, but make the centre backs underlap. That's not possible in FM, is it? The thing is, we did it there before. That's the last time we switched to the 3 at the back, 3 up front. And you can see the impact it had in that game. We went from 3-1 down to winning 4-3. But then we started it in the next game. There it is. A version of it anyway. We started it in the next game and we're rubbish. I don't think we can start with it. And Bamber Bridge is another really important game. We beat the... Oh, it's only in the FA Trophy. Oh, well, in that case. Oh, well, in that case. I guess we'll be starting it. And seeing what happens. What's the worst that could happen, eh? Eh? 3 at the back with proper wingers. That's football. Yeah, obviously we're doing it on attack. It only works on attack. You can't play only 3 defenders. There's no disguising this as a 5-3. It's a 5-3-2 when we're out of possession. No, these are wingers. They can't tackle. It is a 3-4-3. We are only playing with 3 defensive players in the team. You've got to do that on an attacking instruction. The idea is you outscore the opposition. You don't try and defend anything. We want 3 big hard men back there who are just good at last-ditch tackles, and everyone else is just about getting forward at every opportunity. We have got quite a lot of unhappy players. Problem with the 5-2-3 is it takes Stobbsy out of the team. Stobbsy and Jones come out of the team. I think we try this. It's only the FA Trophy. No one cares about the Fat Cup. Imagine if we go and win 8-0 because of this. It'd be amazing. Right, give him a little tickle. Give him a little slap. We need an attacking libero. I hear the National League North is absolutely full of attacking liberos as well. You've changed. Ah. Here we go. Here we go, boys and girls. Not only we're going to play him inverted still. We're going for it. What's the worst that can happen? Come on then. Are we winning yet? They do not know what we've done tactically here. They have no idea how to counter it. They're lost. That does worry me a little bit that they're playing with wide attacking players and we have literally no one in those areas. We're just basically going to let these 2 guys have the ball and not worry about it and just try and do the damage behind them. We're going to try and pull them back rather than try and mark them with our wide strikers and our wingers. Oh, for goodness sake. That's not the goal I anticipated conceiving. Conceiving? Conceding. We conceived a goal, apparently. I'm finding this so very interesting. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Holy smokes. Who's this? Shady's in. 36 months. And a tier 3 subs. That's 3 years. The best 3 years of Shady's life. Oh. I see. We've lost a midfielder already. So I guess we bring on a striker. We stick Jones back in the middle again. Move Stobbsy over there. Worsfold comes out there. And we go even more attacking. Because we're now playing a winger in central midfield. Come on, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here it comes. See, Shady knows it's been the best 3 years of his life. You can't play with 4 strikers all playing as a striker, can you? I know on Championship Manager back in the day, you could put left and right forwards on. So you could actually do a flat 4 up front. But you can't do it anymore, can you? Closest you can get is wingers. Kick him. Can't play the true 2-3-5. I know it's devastating. Malone is now broken as well. We might have to lose another midfielder. How has it come to this? We've got 2 left backs and a right back on the bench. Well, Jenkins has played in midfield many times because I often play in there out of position. So we're going to bring Joey Hope on. Joey Hope's going to play centre back. The thing for Bamber Bridge is they're still only beating us 1-0 with all these shenanigans going on. I mean, if everyone here is playing in their natural positions, you've got 4 strikers, a right winger, a left winger, 3 centre backs and a left back. There is no midfield on the pitch. Star ratings are beautiful. It is pretty sensational. I mean, Worsfold would be better up there. He's much better like that. I mean, we could do this. I'm not even going to do my own team talk after that. I'm going to change the system to that and then just walk out the room and leave my assistant manager to find a way to motivate them into playing this system. I mean, it's not that I'm not taking the Fat Cup seriously, but we have got no midfielders available. Big Maguire 97 in the house, boy. Catchy. Thank you for the sub. Bamber Bridge have just scored again. Another goal that I refuse to take the blame for. Why is Joey Hope not getting to him there? We've actually got a left back on the pitch and he isn't playing like one. Probably because I've told him to play centre back, but that's beside the point. Maybe he'd be better off if he actually played left back. And we just did that. Maybe that's better. That seems like that would be better. Imagine if this works. This is me inventing new tactics now. Kev's a genius. Kev's a genius. What a genius. Do, 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 do. Come on, boys. Come along now. Let's do a football all together. Changes didn't even go through. They knew the changes were coming, so I am still a genius. I had a pounder every time Kev says he's a genius. I mean, I am. I have to say it a lot because it's true. As much as I don't like to damage the system, Jones is coming off now, and we're actually bringing a right back on. So I think we're going to go to this. Midfields are for losers. We're playing the circle, boys and girls. Midfields are for losers. Da, 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 da. Midfields are for losers. Midfields are for losers. Da, 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 da. Come on! Oh, ho, ho. This needs tweeting out. People need to know I'm a tactical genius. I'm better at tactics than you. Beautiful. Come on, boys. More. More. Come on. Put the instructions of the focus down the middle. No, we're playing wing play. We are actually focusing it down the wings. It seems to be working. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. We're going to win a football match playing the circle. The donut formation. Wow. If you don't start like this next game. I mean, that's a miss and a half right there. That's one of the worst misses you'll ever see. We are all over him. Joey Hope. And we do. Gotta say this tactic. That's a very good point. What are we calling it? I like the idea of it being the Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is good. Please play this in the stream of Showdown. It's working, it's working. My tactic is working. Kev is great, Kev is great. My tactic is working. Look at it. Wow. Let's get that tactic loaded in. Major issues. There's currently nobody directly responsible for this area of the pitch. Oh. You don't say. Well, it's now on there as an option that we're going to be trying. I'm now not going to be streaming until Monday. I'm going to come back on Monday, not remembering that we've done that. And you lot are going to be like, Kev, play the Ring of Fire. And I'm going to go, what are you talking about? Come and have a look at it and not understand. And then you're going to refer me back to that match where we actually played it and won 4-2. And I don't understand football anymore. Big brain time. That's what you've got going on over here. We're going to end the stream there, boys and girls. Obviously, there's not going to be a stream this Sunday because it's coming home and all that jazz. I'll be so full of party salad. There'll be no cucumbers left. If you want a cucumber this weekend, you want to get it early because Kev's having a party and the party salad is going to be gone. Who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid? We're going to raid Pokes, I think. I bet he knows about bills. He looks like he'd know about bills. Ask him if he likes bills. Raid Pokes FM. And I'll see you back here. I think it'll probably be Monday night. Just keep an eye on my Twitter. That's the best place to find out when I'm streaming. I think it's going to be Monday night. And make sure you keep supporting the stream highlights on YouTube because then we'll keep doing them. Toodle pip, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Overbee off. We're taking Overbee off. We're gonna have to put Garners on.